pleasant good evening to you, all of you hockey fans. It is, as always, our good buddy Kyle Manfold, and of course myself, Neil Villapiano, the host of the Devil's Podcast, here on the Hockey Podcast Network, and we welcome you to another exciting edition of Live Watch Along right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Tonight, we have a big-time matchup in the Garden State as the Boston Bruins are in New Jersey to take on the New Jersey Devils in what really should be a really exciting game between two teams who have played pretty well up until this point. Bruins have won 3 of their last 4. Devils are coming off winning 3 of the 4 games on their Western Canada-ish road trip. They did play 1 game in Seattle as well, and the Devils have won 6 of their last 8, despite still some struggles on the back end. But as always, guys, we thank you so much for hanging out with us. Do us a favor while you're at it. Leave a like on this stream, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live right here on the THPN YouTube channel. And also a big shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook. And guys, this month, the month of December, is just an absolutely perfect time to get in on all the huge cash prizes that DraftKings has to offer. Because not only do you got hockey going on, you got the NBA, college basketball, you got the bowl season for college football, so many different, over 40 games that you can choose from to put money down. And with so much of that going on, DraftKings is your number one destination to get in on all the huge cash prizes. So when you sign up, use our promo code THPN. So here we are again, Kyle. Really good game tonight. Probably one of, if not the biggest matchup of the night between two teams who have played pretty well. And we have at least 2 of the best players in the National Hockey League going up against one another in Jack Hughes and David Pastrnak. I think we're in for a really good game tonight.
I would hope so. The last couple ones, I think we've expecting good games, have been kind of sideways, except for, I think it was Philly when they played Philly. But
last time we did a game was that overtime.
Yeah. Oh, so no, it was a good one. Yeah, you're right. It was a good one. No, I think I just looked at it earlier today, and I'm like, it's gonna be a good game tonight. I think we're in for a good one. Mind you, how many times do we say that, and then all of a sudden it's just like blowout on one side or the other? So I
think almost every Devils playoff game we thought was going to be good, and most of them became blowouts. So
Well, I mean, hey, speaking of playoffs, I know I mentioned it to you before. If the Devils come on top tonight, it would be a 4-way tie in the last wildcard spot with Washington, Carolina, who have definitely fallen off a little bit, and Tampa Bay. So obviously lots of time to still figure out and jockey that. But and then for Boston on their side of things, they're I think 3 points up on Florida right now for the Atlantic. So it's just another chance for them to kind of extend that Atlantic lead a little bit. So how are you feeling going into tonight?
I think there's, if I'm being very honest with you from the Devils' perspective, there is a little bit of nerves because, again, with the goaltending for the Devils continuing to not be anywhere near it needs to be, and with the high-powered offense that the Boston Bruins have, it's definitely one of those things where if the Devils get exposed one too many times, it's going to end up becoming a rout very quickly, and the Devils are going to have to play catch-up. And I think right now, unfortunately, the Devils have to play a lot of these high-scoring games in order to win, because really their offense has to be on point. And it wasn't against the Edmonton Oilers in their 4-1 loss in Edmonton on Sunday. So the Devils come into this having not played since Sunday, so they've had a little time to get back from the road trip, rest, practice, and now get themselves ready for tonight. And, you look at the schedule ahead, you got Boston tonight, you got Columbus on Saturday, you got Anaheim on Sunday. You have some winnable games. So if you're able to find a way to win this game tonight at home against the really high-powered Bruins team, you set yourself up to maybe get on another winning streak. The Devils have gotten on a couple of winning streaks over the last couple of weeks, haven't been able to get over 3 in a row, but at the same time, they've won 6 of their last 8. So they are finding more ways to win hockey games right now, which I think is important. So, we'll see how this one goes tonight. I have some confidence. I have always confidence in the offense. I got to be cautiously optimistic about the back end.
That's the big worry, right? Because of how Boston has still been, like, for the last 2 years, at least in the regular season, have been so lethal offensively, right? And then I think the issue has always been with them is or trying to deal with them is those 2 goalies, like the tandem back and forth, right? Trying to make sure that, you're trying to get them on an off night as Jesper Bratt's trying to get the boys rallied. rallying together a little bit. Puck drop coming up soon, I believe, on TNT, which should be good. And then, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what that defense is going to do tonight for your Devils. To try to contain them a little bit. Obviously, it was tough. Like I was watching a little bit when the Devils played the Oilers on Sunday, I think it was, and I thought that was gonna be a really good test for them, especially on a Oilers team that's just been on a wagon these last couple of weeks, and it's tough to contain those two guys up in Edmonton. So
Right.
it'll be another really good test for them tonight.
For sure. And so, as always, guys, by the way, in the comment section, make sure to leave your score prediction. We already got one from our good buddy, Andrew H. He's going with a high-scoring 5-4 win at home for the New Jersey Devils. I think that that's a reasonable one, considering the depth from the Devils' perspective. They have to find ways to score a ton if they want to win these games. It would be surprising to see Jeremy Swayman have a bad game like that and give up 5 goals, but nonetheless, it's always possible. Vitek Vanacek, who has a pretty good 10-5 record on the year for the Devils, but has an abysmal 3.49 goals against average and a even worse 0.879 save percentage is in net for the Devils. And as mentioned just moments ago, it's Jeremy Swayman for the Bruins, who is 9-1-2, 2.08 goals against average and a 0.932 save percentage. Kyle, really quickly, your score prediction for tonight's game.
I think it'll be a good high-scoring game. I'm hopeful. I know the last couple haven't really been that high scoring, so I was kind of thinking along the same lines as Andrew, but I'm going to flip it. I'm going to say 5-4 Boston tonight in overtime.
Okay, all right. I like, I totally understand where everybody's coming from, as we are now officially underway in our game tonight between the Devils and the Bruins. For me, I'm going to go with a 4-2 win for the Devils. Somehow I feel like they might, Vitek in particular, might find a way to come up with a couple of important saves as a toe drag shot there. Scramble in front as McLeod was almost able to squeak one past Swayman. And now Brad Marchand comes up the other way looking for some reinforcements. He gets knocked down. Doesn't appear to be a penalty. Puck comes out in front, bounces again, and just goes wide of Vanacek. So right away, Kyle, within the first 30 seconds, both goaltenders immediately tested.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm still waiting.
That's fair. The soft shot there from Marchand. Marchand takes a slow shot that's easily gloved by Tek Vanacek. Lindy Ruff should just mention tonight, if he wins, he will tie Ken Hitchcock for 4th all time in wins for an NHL head coach. He is currently on 848. He gets to 849 if he could do that, if he could get the win tonight. Also, for the Bruins, Kyle, fun fact.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Jared Brown said, hi, Neil. Good luck. My Bruins will win 3-2. Fair enough, Jared. But as always, man, we do appreciate you hanging out with us. And again, this should be a good one nonetheless. As now Bratt looks to come the other way with speed up the left side, try to get around a defender. He gets around one for a minute, tries to backhand. It's intercepted by the Bruins, and that was poke-checked almost away by David Pastrnak. Puck goes around into the right corner of Boston. But Brad Marchand, fun fact, everybody, is 1 point away from tying Bobby Orr for the 4th most points all time in Bruins history. Think about that.
Wow.
Just think about
really?
that. That is a shocker to me. It's a high-rising shot is fought off by...
How many points does he have?
I think he has 878, I believe, now. And I believe the next one will be 879. So he is 12 away from 900 in his career.
Good for him.
You know, as much of a dislikable player he can be to a lot of people, he's still like a phenomenal player in his own right. And speaking of which, Marchand with a shot, but he fans on it off a good play from Shimon Nemec, who again made his NHL debut a weekend change almost 2 weeks ago in a loss to the Sharks back in New Jersey. But he's played pretty well, has a goal and 2 assists in the first in just 5 games so far since being called up for the injured Dougie Hamilton as that puck goes out of play.
Turn TNT on mute and hearing you guys. How bad is TNT commentary?
I don't think they're bad. I mean, they have usually they've had mostly the NBC guys. So I mean, if you were not a fan of the NBC guys, then I can understand it.
Got it. Okay.
I think tonight I think it's Kenny Albert and Eddie Olsen.
Kenny Albert. Yeah,
I think it's there's a turnaround. Oh my goodness, a turnover shot there from 43 of the Bruins is stopped and covered. That was Heinen with that shot.
He bought a Flames jersey. Why?
Nice.
Why?
Nice.
Why?
We
Not right now.
we do also apologize to everybody that Kyle and I could not do the Devils Flames game back on Saturday afternoon. We had
There will be another time. There will be
another time. Devils still actually have to play a game at home against the Flames later on. I think in February.
I think you're right. Yeah,
It's February time frame. Face off one there, and that's squirting around. And then there's Herrick Halla, who is back in the lineup after being injured and did not play in the game against the Edmonton Oilers. As that puck comes over to Dawson Mercer, intercepted by Lindholm, and here comes James Van Riemsdyk, the New Jersey native, now with the puck, and that shot there is blocked. Bruins keep it in, though. Puck down to the right corner. Van Riemsdyk fighting along with Colin Miller. Van Riemsdyk gets knocked down, no penalty. Bruins dog. Grizzly with a shot that gets blocked. Another opportunity there. Shot there is stopped by Vanacek. Still loose. Puck goes into the right corner, and the Devils are able to clear. As that almost turned into a disaster there. But some good pressure from the Bruins right now.
How will you feel about Vanacek tonight if he plays really well?
Nothing. I'm just more relieved. I think it's I'm just relieved that he had a good game. That's literally been my he played against trying to think of the game. He played against Calgary. And he was good enough. My response was he was good enough. The second goal he gave up I thought was weak. I was like, probably should have saved
goal scores.
Yeah, and he was like, probably should have stopped that. But overall, he did enough to win us the game, and that was the important thing. So he is at least coming off of a good performance. If he could build off of that, great. And this would be a really good test for him.
Okay. Real quick, too, just other games that we got going on. Montreal currently up 2-1 against Pittsburgh in the first period. And then the other game that's currently on right now, Ducks and Islanders just dropped the puck too, so they don't have a score right now. And Jared actually asked a question for us. Do you guys love the Bruins 100 years jerseys?
I love them.
I do too.
I think the black one is my favorite, personally.
Oh, okay. I like the white one actually more.
Which white one? What is it called? Because they have three. They have the black one, the white one, and then I don't know what you call the gray
one they're wearing right now.
You're talking about the one, yeah, right. So I'm sorry.
The one they're wearing right now. I'm like, wait a minute, the one right now, right? More than one.
Just so that this is TMI, but I've unfortunately been under the weather the last couple of days, so my brain is not where it needs to be right at the moment. So I do.
That's apologize. Okay. I've had back issues the last couple of days, and it's.
That is the worst. That is the absolute worst.
Also, February 8th. Thank you, Andrew. That's the next.
Thank you, Andrew.
That's the next opportunity. It's a Thursday night, so that should be doable.
Toffoli's shot just goes high and wide of Jeremy Swayman. Devils trying to keep the puck in here. Puck goes now into the right side. There's Matt Grzelcyk. Stops on a dime. It just waits for reinforcements. Grzelcyk gets around Toffoli. Feeds it over to the left side. Intercepted by John Marino. Devils come back in. Leads it over to Timo Meier with a shot. Not want to stick the side by Swayman. Now over to Jack Hughes, but he loses the puck. And it's taken away by the Bruins again. His forward team makes a pass into the center ice. Gives over to Pastrnak. Drops it now over to 39. To apologize if I don't know every player on the Bruins number-wise, is David Pastrnak with a sharp angle shot that gets stopped, and then Vitek reaches back and covers to get a whistle here.
Hey guys, fun fact, my high school is called TMI Academy.
TMI Academy. And a pleasant good evening to you too, Angus. Good to see you, my friend.
For sure.
That's how you introduce yourself for the night.
Do you think there's a lot of Bruins fans that are upset that they changed? Because when's the last time they changed their logo / jerseys? Probably
100 years ago.
Well, it's got to be back in what?
If I'm being honest with you, Kyle, I think they should keep these moving forward. I don't see any reason.
I think so too. I think you got to move up with the times a little bit, but yeah, no.
We have to remember. We do have to remember as well. This is the last year of Adidas, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next year or how they're going to do it. That'll be a really good talking point.
Go back, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But
the Devils will ever change logo design or anything like that?
Logo design, probably not.
Because the last time, I was gonna say the Leafs have done it, the Senators have done it, the Bruins just did it. What else?
The Devils, the only thing they've ever really changed is just the color of the logo. It's always been they had red, green, and white when they first started, and then it became red and black, and that was pretty much it. Now, I will say this. There is a rumor going around about a potential what. Okay, Andrew, very interesting.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. There's a rumor going around about what the Devils Stadium Series jersey might look like, and a lot of people are speculating it's going to be a red jersey with just the black insert of NJ, not even the circle around the logo that you normally see. It's just the NJ, and it's just going to be black, which is kind of something that a lot of us have been even speculating about. What if we made that full time kind of thing? Because we seem to be using it a lot in promotional things. So, I mean, it's maybe, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon.
Is it kind of like where you have the sweater right now where it's like black and then it'll be like the red NJ kind of? Or?
It'll be a red jersey, but with just a black NJ.
Got it. Okay, got it. So
like you see this NJ that I have right here?
Yeah, just switch the
just make it black, and then it'll look at it that way, and that'll be okay. That's
another question coming in though. Because their power play has been so abysmal lately, what do you think of the Pittsburgh Penguins as of late?
I mean, they're old, and that's really kind of what I hate. I mean, no, in a way, and also did we really think that Tristan Jarry was going to somehow still be was he going to help the goaltending? They were trying to get rid of him,
right?
And then they couldn't get anybody, and so they had to stick with Jarry, and they had to re-sign him anyway. So I mean, but in terms of the power play, I don't get it. I actually don't get why their power play is as bad as it is. That shocks me.
That shouldn't that should be the Flames. That would make sense if it was Calgary. It should not be that bad.
Right.
And actually kind of, sort of not breaking news, but as of yesterday, we did find out that the Blues did fire head coach Craig Berube. Actually, was that today or yesterday?
That was last night. Last night they fired him.
Whatever.
I don't know if the Blues played last night. It's getting icing here against the Devils. I don't know if that was
firing Berube.
Look, the last time the Blues fired their head coach, they went on to win the Cup. So I mean, and Craig Berube was the guy that replaced the guy who got fired. I can understand it. The Blues are kind of up and down. I think they need a change. I think they're going through a little bit of that realization that they have to really start thinking rebuild. I think that they've kind of lost some of that core that they had when they won the Cup a couple of years ago, and I think it's time to start really thinking about the long term, the younger guys that you're going to want to build around, Jake Neighbors, guys like that. Also, I think I just saw that Jakub Vrana got cut or got waived by St. Louis.
Did he?
Which I thought was surprising. Unless he's not on, I could have sworn, I keep thinking he's on St. Louis, but maybe I just have the team wrong. But I could have sworn.
Oh, no, Vrana. Oh, Vrana. Yeah. He, Jakub, man, he's a guy that's really went downhill. So he was St. Louis.
Right.
He was waived. Yeah, he was waived yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So we got to, and just to kind of get back to the game here, we have a penalty coming up here. It's going to be a slash against the Bruins. Just a little bit under 7 minutes to go into this first period here. So it looks like it's number 6 for the Bruins, but a little bit of a commercial break. But after this commercial break, the Devils will get the first power play. Really big opportunity here early in this game for the Devils.
I was going to ask, I saw the lineups before the game started. They got Simon Nemec on the top line with I can't pronounce it.
Siegenthaler.
Thank you.
Jonas Siegenthaler.
What do you think of them sticking Nemec on the top line of that defense?
I think that he's earned it. If anybody has watched Szymon Nemec since he got in the league, he looks comfortable. He looks relaxed. He looks confident. He's got a goal and a couple of points already in the first 5 games that he's played. He looks like he's been ready for the NHL for a long time. We saw it in preseason last year. We saw it in the preseason this year. He had played very well down in Utica, and finally he gets an opportunity, albeit with Dougie Hamilton coming out of the lineup, but nonetheless, he has really, really kind of picked up the slack on the back end from an offensive standpoint, but he's also been pretty good on the back end as well. So he's earning that trust from Lindy Ruff. He's also the quarterback of, I think, the second power play. So it's good. It's good to see him getting these opportunities. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw him on this power play at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I hope he continues because it's like he needed that kind of chance, right? It's like now that you're here, now that you've been playing well, it's like you got to keep that sort of consistency up too.
To answer your question, Jared, real quick, Dougie Hamilton is out for the foreseeable future with a lower body injury. He had surgery on it back on Friday the 1st. Yeah, Friday the 1st of this month of December. So he will be out. We will see when he will return. We do not know. But Devils, again, going to the power play here as they got Luke Hughes, Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, and Tyler Toffoli on for this first wave. So the Devils power play is still number 1 in the NHL. This is a big opportunity for them. Bruins 18 for their last 18 on their penalty kill, while the Devils 0 for 9 on the power play in their last couple of games. Something has to give at some point as Bratt comes in. Backhand try as he falls down, and Swayman will just cover it very quietly there, just 7 seconds into the power play.
Well, we play some offense, just for giggles, something different.
Just for giggles. Spelled it wrong, but that's fine. Something different. Yeah, I mean, from a Devils perspective, playing some offense would be nice, considering how much talent there is on the offensive side of this team. As Bruins win this face-off here, and Brandon Carlo will dump it out. The Devils will go back to set up. Luke Hughes is going to quarterback the first power play. He's been doing that a lot. Even when Dougie Hamilton was in the lineup, he was doing that as Luke Hughes drops it off now to Jesper Bratt, gives it over to Jack Hughes on the left side. Bruins player falls down but gets right back up. Back to the top of the point to Luke Hughes, over to Toffoli. Toffoli now to Jack on the left side, feeds it over to Luke. Luke now having some trouble, gets it over to Bratt. Bratt now on the right side, looking over now to Nico Hischier in the right corner. Now to Bratt on the right faceoff dot. Bratt now to Nico Hischier. Back to Bratt now. Gets it top of the point to Luke Hughes. Now to Bratt again. Bratt holds. Gives it over to Nico Hischier. Waits. He whiffed on a shot. Puck comes out. Scramble in front. Both teams whacking at it. Nico Hischier gets to it for New Jersey. As now Luke Hughes gets it over to Jack with 57 seconds. Gets it over to Bratt. And a one-time shot. He fanned on it. Bratt now top of the point to Luke Hughes. Luke with a shot. That one gets blocked. Devils still with it now with 48 seconds to go on the power play. Bratt now top of the point. Over to Jack Hughes on the right side. Jack to Toffoli with a drive, and that one is fought off by Swayman. And now Coyle will give it over to his teammate. Bruins may have a short-handed chance, but really they'll just kill time here with 30 seconds. Really, really good opportunity there for Toffoli, but a better save from Swayman. As now Jack Hughes drops it now over to Timo Meier. Now to Luke Hughes up the center of the ice. Chips it now over to Alex Holtz. Holtz now on the left side. Gets it over to Mercer. Top of the point to Luke Hughes. Hughes now wraps it around the boards. Gets it. As now he'll leave it for Timo Meier. Meier now to Palau with 8 seconds to go on the power play. Timo Meier now on the right side. Now on the right corner. Kind of whacking at it, looking for something, struggling here. Power play is up for the Devils. Puck comes out in front. Here come the Bruins. They might have an opportunity here if they hurry, but number 6 couldn't get to it. Now we get a stoppage of play here for something. I think it's an offsides. But nonetheless, Kyle, relatively easy penalty kill there for the Bruins. Just really one shot on net for New Jersey, as now the Bruins have killed off their last 20 power plays in a row.
Yeah, it was a good chance early on. I just thought Nico Hischier had a really good chance at the side of the net, and he just couldn't find his footing. Not his footing. He just couldn't find the puck really on his stick for that one. So pretty unfortunate, but overall it was a good chance. But again, when you have those kind of good chances, you need to be able to find a way to put it away.
Yeah, just again, Devils now 0 for 10 on their last 10 power plays. Really, really have struggled. Thank you, RJ, as always, man. Again, don't forget to leave a like on this stream as always, and subscribe as well if you like what you see. It's now Bastian on the right side. Now over to Shimon Nemec in the right corner. Now picked up by Curtis Lazar. Lazar gets over to McLeod. McLeod still with it. Backhands it to Nemec. Nemec with a shot that goes blocked into the left corner. Nate Bastian now. Good pressure here by the Devils' fourth line. Gets it top of the point to Siegenthaler. He takes a shot that gets blocked, and the Bruins will chip it out of the zone. It'll go back down where Vitek Vanacek will lightly play it to Nemec. And now Siegenthaler makes a long feed over now to Holtz, who will backhand it off the boards and go back into the Bruins zone here as both teams make a quick change.
They were showing the one-timer that Brad almost like he just whiffed on it, but I don't know who had the stick, like who just deflected it, but it just got like the knob at the end of the stick, and it
Right.
just like deflected that little bit for Brad to like miss it. Oh, it's a game of inches out there.
It really, hockey more than really a lot of other sports is a game of inches for sure. As Lindholm tried to keep it in, but he's offside. So with 9:50 to go here in this first period, still no score in our game here between the Devils and the Boston Bruins.
What are your thoughts on the Red Wings so far this year?
They've been good. They've been really solid. Of late, they've lost 3 of their last 4, especially since Patrick Kane joined the team. Not saying it's his fault. Not saying that at all.
Right.
That loss that they had where they gave up multiple goals in the third period to lose to the Sharks at home. It's a really bad loss. But I still think that they're a team that could definitely make a run and get into the playoffs. Their defense has to be a bit better. I think their goaltending has been solid. It's not been great, but I think it's been good enough. Right. But now with Dylan Larkin out for we don't even know how long he's going to be out. Some other guys got to start stepping up here.
You got it. No, I get it. I think that it's a good team, and I think that's one. I don't know, with the addition that they made, and I think they're going to make more moves at the deadline too. With I want to see the longevity here with Kane to see like if he's going to sustain like this next whatever it is, like 60, 50 games that we have left in the regular season. I just like to see like coming off the surgeries that he's had, like is he able to hold up for the remainder of the season, and if they do make the playoffs, is he going to be able to grind out another playoffs for this team? So I'll be curious to see how that goes and what kind of moves they'll make, but I'm not surprised that this is where they're at this point in the year.
Right. And so again, for most teams, they're not even 30 games into the season. So a lot can change between now and even a month from now. But nonetheless, I think the Red Wings are kind of right where they need and want to be. And I think that's a really good thing. So here's a trivia question for you, Kyle. Allmark Swayman won the Jennings Trophy last season for best goaltending tandem in the NHL. In addition to Marty Brodeur, who is the other Devils goalie to win the award?
Who is the other goalie to win it? Because it's the Jennings is for both goalies, correct?
For both. So
who's with Marty Brodeur?
Which Marty Brodeur backup, I guess we call it that, Marty Brodeur backup, won the Jennings Trophy with Marty.
What year was this?
They didn't really give a year. They just
a year. So early 2000s. Oh my!
So you got to think like early 2000.
You have a guess?
My guess, if I'm going to guess, I'm going to go with like Chris Terreri. I feel like that's a logical one to take. Wow. It could also be Scott Clemmensen, because Scott Clemmensen for like a very short period of time actually had a pretty good run with the Devils. But that was also when Marty was hurt. So I'm just going to go on a limb and say Chris Terreri. That's going to be my guess for this.
I forgot about Clemmensen, but I'm going to go with Scott Clemmensen. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I like how you said, but, and then I'm saying, I'm still going to go with Clemmensen.
I'm still going with him.
I thought about him, and that's what I'm going with.
You got your wine tonight, Neil?
I don't. Again, I have been under the weather the last couple of days, so really I've just been drinking a lot of water. So I've really just tried to stay hydrated. As a backhand shot by Vanacek gets fought by Pastrnak is fought off by Vanacek. Can I get that right tonight?
I have not.
You have not. As Pastrnak comes the other way here, as Pastrnak slowly making his way. He'll actually just wait for reinforcements. Now he tries to get around McLeod. Can't get to it, and he'll just dump it in. As the Bruins make a little bit of a change here. Nemec backhands it into the right corner now. Over to Marino, now to McLeod. McLeod will chip it to Curtis Lazar.
How do you think Luke Hughes has done on the power play unit so far?
I think this year, again, just like with Nemec, he looks confident. He looks like he's been in the league for a long time. He doesn't look out of place. Him and Nemec both seem to be very matured in terms of how they've been able to play and come right in and make a difference. And again, I think it's important that he's getting this top power play time. He's one of our top 4 pairing defensemen. They're part of that long-term stability and long-term core that we have. So it's important for them to get those high minutes as much as possible, and they've earned it. And I think that's really the exciting part about it.
Okay. Yeah, and it seems like he's just from watching that power play that he was on, It just seems like he was so comfortable. He was in control, and it really felt like he was the quarterback of that unit.
Exactly. And that's the way that the Devils see that. And you mentioned before, obviously Shimon Nemec is paired with Siegenthaler. Fun fact, really kind of a funny jersey type of situation. Nemec wears 17 while Siegenthaler is 71. So there. Funny
Very
thing you don't
nice.
see very often. As a shot there from Miller gets blocked in front, and the Bruins look to come the other way as Frederick now over to the right side. Waits for his teammate, tries to drop it off. Intercepted by New Jersey. Mercer looks to come the other way, drops it to Holtz. Alexander Holtz comes with a shot, and that one goes into the breadbasket of Swayman, and he'll cover with 6:48 to go in the first period. And you mentioned, Kyle, about the standings. And again, if the Devils do find a way to win tonight, they will then move into a 4-way tie for the second wild card spot. And they will also move themselves just 2 points behind both the Islanders and Flyers for second place in the Metro Division. The Flyers still playing solid hockey into December.
Yeah, they're playing John Tortorella hockey. And I mean, with so many teams still bunched up, like I mentioned earlier, there's still Carolina. Like Carolina, I'm surprised like they are where they are right now. I expect them to kind of be up a little bit further. Lightning where they are. I don't expect Washington to kind of. I think they'll fizzle out a little bit. Islanders are still in the mix. It's still very close. Call me in the next couple of months and we'll see kind of where it's at. But
Right.
we got the Flyers playing just John Tortorella kind of hockey, and that's the way it's been so far. And quick little notes, because RJ brought it up. I will be live tomorrow night, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so we got some Flames guys on tomorrow night. If you guys want to come hang out too, I know it's not the most exciting game is the one they're watching right now. But it is Flames and Wild tomorrow at 8 o'clock. If you guys want to join as well too and chat, I will be on for that one.
And again, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified when Kyle and the boys go live. We got 33 people right now in the chat hanging out with us, and we do appreciate everyone with us right now as Jack Hughes gets around a defender. Backhand try, but he whiffed on it. Oh, he had it. He had a step. Maybe would have gotten a great A opportunity, but couldn't get the stick on it. Puck goes now all the way down. It'll be an icing against the Bruins with 5:52 to go in the first period. Are the Sabres cheating?
Are they? I don't know.
They showed the standings really quickly, so I didn't see completely right now. Kyle's on it. Kyle's got more of that.
You know what? Yeah, there are. You know what's crazy? If you take the second wildcard spot, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams all within a 4-point cushion of each other. That's crazy.
That is nuts.
And then also too, Dougie Hamilton back Thursday, February 15th.
I'm going to say that that's RJ guessing because we have no timeline whatsoever at all. So really don't know. As now Bratt stops on a dime, still with the puck, takes a shot, and that one is stopped and covered by Swayman.
Jared wants our thoughts real quick on the Canucks before we continue.
Yes, we do have a commercial break with 5:43 to go in our first period, so I have a little time here. In terms of the Canucks, do you want to go first on this one, Kyle?
I don't have much.
Actually, you can stop and get some water, so I'll let you. Let you go.
No problem. I haven't had a lot of thoughts on the Canucks recently. I mean, looking at them, they're 19-9-1 to start the year, 29 games in. I expect this is a team that's probably going to make the playoffs after acquiring Nikita Zadorov and assuming that they'll probably make some more moves at the deadline. So. But it's a team that I don't expect to do much come playoff time. I think they've had a really, really good start to the year. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, though. So, I mean, it's kind of fading out a little bit here. And just in terms of them getting into the playoffs, I think experience is really going to go a long way with this team. So I don't foresee them really doing well against the Kings if it happens. Like if it just, I think the separation is so much in that Pacific Division compared to like the teams that are on the outside looking in. So because then the next team outside, like the LA Kings, are at 36 points. Then you got the Edmonton Oilers at 27. So it's a really, really big gap. Who knows if the Oilers continue to play well a little bit? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Canucks phase out a little bit, but it's been a really good start to the year. I just don't foresee them if and when I think they do make the playoffs. I don't like their chances in the first round, whether it be the Kings, and if they do happen to upset and get through, you ain't getting through Vegas because it's a juggernaut there. Because Vegas right now, believe it or not, is 25-5. It's crazy how well they've done this year. They are the best team in the NHL. They are they're at 45 points first in the NHL. You got Boston, who's 6 points back. So I think that tells you so much about this team, and I think Vegas is just going to be another problem this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at the Canucks is that they remind me a lot of last year's, New Jersey Devils, where nobody really expected a whole lot out of them, and they're taking a major step forward, and they're really starting to establish that core that they want of young players. Thatcher Demko really kind of bouncing back, and that's a really big thing for Vancouver. I definitely think this is a team that is going to find a way to make the playoffs, but I do think that this, the huge amount of success they've had, I think it's going to die down a little bit as the year goes on. You're going to have your highs and lows for sure. But I still think this is a team that is playoff capable. And then, in terms of when they get in the playoffs, it all depends on who they face and, if they could get hot at the right time. So we'll see. But, Canucks can't help but feel good if you're a Canucks fan right now, right?
What's crazy is the Canucks they're tied with the Bruins in points, and they're still 6 points behind Vegas too. But I just think that gap is going to start showing itself in a couple of months' time from now as well. So Goza checking in with us too. He's saying that he does hate the Bruins as much as he hates the captain, but he's still going to cheer for the Devils today. So there you go.
This is the second straight live watch along that Goz is actually cheering for the Devils because he hated the other team that much more. So I'll take that. I will gladly take that as the Bruins come the other way. Might be a 3-on-2. Nice feed over to Pastrnak. Drops it off. A drive there. Gets blocked. Backhand try gets blocked as well. And now Michael McLeod looks to come the other way with speed. McLeod kind of going against three Bruins players. He gets in the left corner and somehow wins that puck battle. He gets some help from Nate Bastian, but then it's taken away by 51 of the Bruins. Now the Bruins will slowly get the puck to center ice as DeBrusk stops, and he'll just dump it into the left corner where the Devils will go and restart. Kind of crazy to think about. Just last year, Kyle, Jake DeBrusk looked like he was well on his way out of Boston, and now everything is all good again with him and the Bruins.
This is I'm going to look at his contract because I'm curious to see, they're having another great year, obviously, and I think the reason why he's staying is because now everything's just starting to mesh together with this team for the last 2 years a little and starting to show, right?
Right.
But I'm just curious, what does his contract look like? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to look and see.
Now, puck in the left corner here as the Bruins trying to whack out of here as Van Riemsdyk goes hard into the boards there. Now, both teams kind of banging the body a little bit here as 39 in the right side now, fighting along, gets it, tried to get over Van Riemsdyk, now feeds it in front to Heinen, and he whiffed on it. Oh, he had a gorgeous chance in the slot, but he couldn't get enough on it. Van Riemsdyk, shoots. That one is stopped by Vitek. Rebound try, and they score.
Scores. Oof.
Oh, Vitek Vanacek, the rebounds have haunted him again as 39 on the Bruins. It's Morgan Geekie who knocks it in, and with 3:09 to go in the first, the Bruins strike first.
Wow. That's been his problem this year? A lot of rebounds for Vanacek?
Lot of rebound problems. Lot of rebound. He made the original stop, but couldn't knock it down and cover it. And then Morgan Geekie got around Colin Miller, and he just wrapped it in and scores there. And so the Bruins, I think this is their third line. I'm going to guess. Nonetheless, it is their third line. And Morgan
it's not even that, but it's the Devils can't even get it out of their own zone.
Yeah, just a bad job there defensively again. And again, Vanacek just not controlling the rebound. And so Morgan Geekie gets his third goal of the year. And the Bruins, relatively late in this first period, grabbed the 1-0 lead. And you kind of felt that was coming a little bit.
But it's so Van Riemsdyk gets the initial shot, and it goes for his glove. And it's Vanacek can't even grab that, gives up a juicy rebound, and you're going to pay for that all day long. But not only that, even beforehand, they're losing those board battles too. They're losing those battles along the boards. They're not winning those puck battles along that, and that's what creates that kind of opportunity.
For sure. And also the Bruins are 13-1-1 this year, Kyle, so far when they score first. So when they get the game's first goal, they don't find a way to relinquish it. As now Toffoli tried to toe drag it, but it gets sticked away. And now Brad Marchand comes the other way up the center of the ice for Boston.
Oh.
Marchand over to the right side, still with it, stops, drops it over to 14, gets it back over to Marchand. He drops it now off to David Pastrnak. Pastrnak behind the net, still with it, gets over to Grzelcyk, now over to the right side to 14 with a drive. That one gets blocked in front. Marchand gets to it now. Marchand at 14 with another drive, and that one is sticked aside by Vanacek with 1:55 to go in the period. Palat now on the left side, bounces it off the boards and is able to just get it out back to center ice. Bruins looking, and they'll just dump it back in here as that puck goes to Vanacek, who will then play it and tries to get it out. He will. Devils look to come the other way as Nico Hischier. He falls down. He fell on his own. And then Carlo will get back for Boston. Puck comes out in front, but the Bruins get to it. Bruins will chip it up as DeBrusque fighting along with two Devils players, but it's intercepted by Siegenthaler. Now over to Luke Hughes. See if the Devils can find a way to maybe get something here before the end of the period as Luke Hughes with a shot that gets blocked. Now the Bruins look to come the other way. As on 94 will dump it into the right side. Siegenthaler behind the net. He gets it over, and now Michael McLeod takes it for New Jersey. Trying to get it out. He does. Puck coming out of right side. We have 1 minute to go here in this first period. And so, yeah, we'll see if either team can get a little bit of momentum here before the first 20 minutes is up.
To answer your question from earlier, Jake DeBrusque is on the last year of his contract, so he's a UFA going into this offseason. So
interesting.
Just wanted to relay that.
All right.
So maybe so. There's no way, man. I think he hits you. I really think he hits the open market come this offseason.
I think he does. I think he'll definitely want to see what his value is on the open market. I mean, there's only so many opportunities you're going to get when you're playing at a relatively high level. Where you get a chance to be in free agency and truly see what other teams and other organizations value at. So,
right, he's making $4 million right now on his current contract a year.
I think it goes up to 5.56.
No,
you think that's too much?
What? Yeah, no way.
You think 5 then?
I don't think he's valued at 5. No way. How well is he playing this year? Let's find out.
Well, we'll have plenty of time to find that out as the first period comes to an end. So Morgan Geekie, with his third of the year, gives the Bruins the 1-0 lead after 20 minutes. They outshot the Devils 11-7. Despite that goal, Kyle, though, I have to be honest with you and felt that was a fairly even period. I didn't feel like either team really was the better of the two teams, but the Bruins just took advantage of an opportunity and cashed in.
I don't think those shots on goal really specify that period because I think they had a couple of whacks on the net at the end there, and that's why it led to the goal. But I thought the Devils had a little bit more control, obviously, with that power play, and I think that's going to come back a little bit because they weren't able to capitalize on that power play, right? So now all of a sudden it comes back. They take advantage of these things, and that's why Boston's been a good team this year because they've been taking advantage of missed opportunities along the boards, trying to get the puck out, not getting goals on the power play. That's why they've been good as they have been all year, just because of missed opportunities like that.
Yeah, and so, again, Devils get a power play opportunity, can't cash in. Bruins get that rebound opportunity. Morgan Geekie knocks it in, and that's you got to be frustrated if you're the Devils, but, obviously this game is far from over. Got 2 periods left to go. You're only down 1. A lot can change between now and the end of this game. And, we'll discuss the DeBrusque. We'll talk a little bit more about Jake DeBrusque and a lot of other things going on when we come back from our first commercial break. And so, as I always say, we will step aside for the first time tonight to get a word from our sponsors. And welcome everybody here to our first intermission report of our game between the Devils and the Bruins. And after 20 minutes of play, thanks to a rebound goal from Morgan Geekie, his third of the year, the Bruins have the 1-0 lead after 20. And so, as we mentioned prior to going to break, it was I would say a fairly even first 20 minutes. Both teams had some chances. Devils had a power play, didn't do a whole lot on it. And the Bruins, they got one really good opportunity all alone on a rebound, and they cashed in. And again, that's hockey for you. You got to take advantage of the opportunities when you get them.
Let's do that hockey.
Right, exactly. Let's do that hockey.
Before the break, we were talking about DeBrusk. I thought it was insane that you think he's going to get paid $5 million coming this offseason. But so what he's got this year, he's got 4 goals and 7 assists up to this point. So unless because teams will value him high because of the fact that, hey, you were on the Bruins. You guys are, 39 points in the stand, second place in the league so far, or whatever it may be. Like, are they valuing him high because of the team that he's on? Or if they don't value him like that, like, just look at his numbers.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, the only reason why I predict that high of a number is because a lot of these guys end up getting overpaid anyway, especially if they go to another team and they sign like a big money, like especially if they sign to a team that's not necessarily like trying to win in that moment. Like let's say, I'll give you an example. Like let's say he signs in Columbus, right? Like next season. The chances are he's going to get paid a lot, probably more than what his value is, because he would be going to Columbus, a team that's not in a position to win at the moment.
Sure.
Whereas if he were to go to Seattle, as an example, a team that may be, a young team still, but like much further along in terms of trying to get where they want to be, it might be 4.5 or 4.75. And that might be more, and DeBrusk may look at it and be like, well, I want to go someplace long-term where I can, support my family and also, get a pay raise and all that stuff. He may stay in Boston. Who knows?
He could very well be one of those players, though, where he signs a 1-year deal and a prove-it deal, right?
With
1
like a
year,
Cook contender.
1 year, $2 million bucks. Go prove it, right? Go prove that you're worth that kind of money. So let's scroll back a little bit here. Donnell's saying that the Devils do have a goaltending problem. They need to improve at that position. Bad rebounding right there on that first goal, as we saw there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Donnell is speaking what everybody has been speaking, this whole year, that the Devils do have a goaltending problem. Neither one of their netminders has a goals against average or below 3 or a save percentage above 9. Other than, I think, the last time I checked, other than Carolina, the Devils have the second worst overall team save percentage in the league.
Right.
Clearly, if they even got league average goaltending, they would be in a lot better position than they're in right now. And the Devils have to find a way to fix it. And right now, I think it's no longer about we need to hope that one of Akira Schmidt or Vitek Vanacek can turn it around. Because I just feel like at this point, we're almost 30 games into it. We're in December now, and things have just not improved. If this was a month into the season, and I would say, all right, well, let's see how it, we got to give them a little bit more time. Now we're in a much more position where we have to make a move. And that's why today, David Pagnott of the fourth period did report that there is interest in John Gibson from the Anaheim Ducks by both the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes as well. Now, the difficulty with John Gibson for a lot of people is a couple of things. One, he has had some injury issues over the last couple of years, so that always is a bit of a concern. Number two, his numbers haven't been great, whether that's because of the team that plays in front of him, or he also could be on the decline. Who knows, right? And the other thing is that he still has 3 years left on his contract at $6 million per year. And even with the salary cap going up next year, there aren't really any teams out there that can afford his contract right now. There would have to be some pretty big money moving to make the salary work. Whether that's the Devils, Carolina, Edmonton, any team, any goalie needed team. So,
it would be.
I think it's a risk that you have to consider making if you want to try to get this season.
Sure. And no, I was just going to say, like, it'd be easier for the Devils to make this move rather than the Hurricanes. Just looking at the Hurricanes kind of situation goaltending wise, Anderson's currently on the LTIR. He's making 3.4 for the next 2 years. They got that kid,
Kochetkov.
Kochetkov. Thank you. He's got 4 years left on his deal at $2 million a year. And then they have Antti Raanta, who's in the last year of whatever, somewhere around $1 million bucks. I just think that, like, if they wanted to make that move, they're probably Kochetkov might have to go the other way. I think if that was the case, if they want established goaltending, maybe he just needs a new, fresh scene, Kochetkov, and he goes over to Anaheim. Maybe it might be easier to do, and the money might actually work in that sense because they're paying him $2 million a year, and I don't know if Anaheim would be in a position to maybe retain some salary, and even if they. That just means that, okay, you're going to have to give up more, right? So, I don't know. I mean, now that I kind of look at it, I think actually Carolina might be in a better position to kind of pull off this move than the Devils, because for the Devils, it's like, okay, well, I mean, really far down the system, you have Nico Daws. You got Vanacek and Akira Schmidt. I mean, Schmidt hasn't played well this year. Vanacek, we saw what he did on his first goal there. So, I don't know. I mean, both teams can make a really good argument, I think, to get this guy, I think is what I'm trying to say after I initially made those stupid comments. But I think I actually think Carolina maybe has a little bit more of a better chance because they have a lot more assets to give away and able to make that salary cap work, even if they are tight to the cap, because Anderson's on LTIR. And if it's a long-term goalie already for the next 4 years, it's something that Anaheim might actually like in terms of contract length with a goaltender. So that's what I kind of want to say there.
No, and I get that completely. And I think that, it's going to be tough no matter who, makes a move for him. It all depends. It also depends on, does Anaheim really want to move on from Gibson, or are they just like listening because they want to see if they could get some desperate team to really, really throw a crap load at them to get him? Because we've never really heard Gibson kind of give his thoughts on how he feels about being in Anaheim at this point and everything that's going on there. We don't really know.
Sure.
I think the Devils are going to be on any goaltender that becomes available, whether it's Gibson. If you say Saros somehow becomes available, he's the first guy that the Devils, I think, would pursue. Jake Allen is an option that we've talked about before. Markstrom, maybe, depending on his injury and depending on
his contract. He's fine, week to week.
Yeah, I know you're trying to convince me. I know. But I know. But it's something we're going to have to continue to monitor. I think that's really what you're going to have to say.
So next question we got here, Jared asks here, what do you think about the Kraken so far this year? As they just haven't really found their footing so far in the first half of the year.
Seattle Kraken currently in 6th place in the Pacific Division. They are currently 2 points actually out of 4th place, as the Oilers have now jumped them. Flames are in 5th with 26, and the Kraken are at 25. And I just say, can we all be a little bit careful that the Sharks are only 4 points behind the Kraken at this point?
That's scary. That's scary.
And Go ahead, catch up. The Sharks are not even in dead last in their own division anymore.
I hope they catch up, man. I really do.
The Sharks came off another close win last night. They won 2-1 against the Winnipeg Jets. So,
breaking news for us Canadians out there: Canada has officially set their final roster for the 2024 World Juniors coming up. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a look real quick.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Kyle, because I have some really awesome news that I'd like to share with all of you.
Oh, please do share.
I will be covering Team Canada for the hockey writers for the 2023-24 World Juniors. I'll be doing all of the game takeaways. So after every game, I will have my 3 takeaways from each game. So I am not Canadian, obviously. I'm American, but hey, you know what? I'm still excited to cover. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, to help you with that, 2 players who were left off the list because they are currently in NHL that are hopeful to play for Team Canada coming up is Zach Benson of the Buffalo Sabres and Matt Poitras of the Boston Bruins. So they are currently left off this list. Notable names, though, on Team Canada. You have Nate Danielson, who was picked early on by the Detroit Red Wings. Macklin Celebrini makes the lineup for Team Canada. He is a projected number 1 overall pick for next year. A lot of kids looking at him. Connor Geeky, Braden Yeager was also a first-round pick this year, this past draft that we just had. Matthew Wood, who plays out of UConn, is also another good player that should be kept an eye on as well, too. Maverick Lamoureux, who was also picked in the draft last year, is one of a very high prospect there. Olivier Bonk, who was picked last year as well, too, defensively. And then in goal, you have, I believe it is Ratzlav. I think Scott Ratzlav of the Seattle Thunderbirds in the WHL, who is the lone netminer of Canada's trio to be drafted. He was a 5th-round pick in the past draft with the Sabres this year and is 8-10-1 with an 8.89 save percentage with the Thunderbirds this year.
Interesting.
Yes. So it doesn't mean
Connor,
I don't.
No Connor Bedard? No Bedard?
No Bedard. Matthias Rousseau, I think, is actually going to be the guy that Team Canada is going to look at to be their number 1 starter. Guy's 19, he's playing for Halifax right now, and Halifax is having a good year. So just to give you some notables, and then I'm sure there's going to be some reports coming soon about Zach Benson and Matt Poitras, just to give everyone.
And you mentioned Connor Geeky. You know who he's the brother of, right?
Mr. Morgan Geeky.
Mr. Morgan Geeky, who has the only goal of our game so far here between the Devils and the Bruins. Second period is just about ready to get underway. But yeah, so again, I will actually be covering Team Canada in this year's World Juniors. For the Hockey Writers, I'll be doing the game takeaways. Really looking forward to it, especially covering a country I'm not a part of. But I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we will also be live here on THPN for live watch-alongs of the World Junior Championships as well. So do not fret. We are really excited to be doing those games as well. Coming up in just about more or less like 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks. This is a really big event every year because we always do really well with this, and we want to do a really good job this year as well, too. So which is why we are doing another giveaway coming up as well, too, that we're involving. Basically, every stream that we're going to do is also going to involve the giveaways that we're doing. So make sure to be involved with that. I'm already locked in for Canada and Latvia and Canada and Sweden for the round robin coming up. I won't be doing the one for the New Year's game against Germany, I think is in their group. I can't remember who their other. I think it's who's the other. Oh, Finland. They play Finland on Boxing Day as their first matchup. So I won't be available for that one. I'm sure a lot of people might not be available for that one either, but we'll see. The good side of it is, though, is for everybody that is in North America, is that the games are early, right? Early morning, early afternoon. Not a bad thing to have, especially during the holidays. So
not a bad thing.
Yes.
Should be a lot of fun in here. And so, Kyle, as we're just about ready to get underway in this second period, what are you looking for from both teams going into this next 20 minutes?
Yeah, you got to expect Vanacek comes back. I mean, you can't let that kind of bad rebound really set these guys back defensively. And I expect this Devils team to be a little bit more hard pressed against the boards, a little bit more of a physical team going into the second period where they were just getting out battled there in their own zone. So I expect them to be a little bit more physical going into the second period. And then in terms of Boston, just to keep up that level of consistency where they're able to set up real easy in the offensive zone and just start peppering Vanacek. If you know that he's going to give away a lot of these rebounds like we just saw on the glove save there, then you got to throw everything at Vanacek because you're seeing a lot of these rebounds now. You got to get in front of him, make sure that he's uncomfortable where he is, and just start feeding off those garbage goal rebounds. Like that's what's going to be working for them tonight.
And I did want to jump back to someone's comment about what are our thoughts about Seattle. I mean, really, the goaltending is goaltending is still very much a mess. I mean, that Grubauer contract looks worse every game that he plays. Burakovsky got hurt again and is out again. They have not been able to play healthy and consistent all year long. And so right now, again, there's still plenty of time to get back into things, but got to find some way to get going here before this thing gets really out of hand. But yeah, so far, somewhat of a disappointment if you're Seattle through the first almost 30 games of the year. So our second period is now underway.
Yeah, like I think the player that surprised me the most that hasn't played well is Matty Beniers coming off Calder Trophy. He's got 4 goals and 9 assists. That's a guy who I'm like, really? Like he's only getting 18 minutes of ice time, and they're trying to their top point scorer right now, believe it or not, is Vince Dunn. Like, that's not good.
It's not going. It's a defenseman. I'll tell you that. Ask the San Jose Sharks last year.
Yes, that's
Although
right.
to be fair, Carlson had over 100 points. So, I mean, that's a little different, but still.
Tis. And for those of you wondering while this period's getting underway, the last game, the gold medal game, is going to be January 5th, coming up for the IIHF World Junior Hockey Championships coming up. And we hope everybody can join us for that event.
Absolutely. He's now a feed in front there to Toffoli, gets his stick lifted. Now Bruins look to come the other way. Charlie Coyle, the Massachusetts native, drops it off to Frederick. Frederick with a shot, and that one's fought off by Vanacek. And then that puck flips up, and I don't know what just happened. I'm going to stoppage of play here very quickly. Just a minute 06 in. We getting a penalty here?
You look at that. I'm going to bring up some other scores real quick.
Yeah, we actually are getting a penalty. It's John Marino for the Devils going to the box. Not really sure what I missed, but Bruins, just 66 seconds into the period, get an opportunity on the power play. We'll see here. Okay. All right, I guess I could. All right. I mean, Marino he lifts Charlie Coyle and knocks him down. I guess you call that a trip. I don't know. It seemed a little. Okay. Oh, there goes his left leg. Yep, that'll do it. Yep.
Before the start of the power play, real quick, it's tied up in Montreal 3-3 right now.
Wow.
There is no score between the Ducks and the Islanders at the first period. And then the other games that we have tonight are Buffalo in Colorado tonight, as they're on a Western swing. The Jets will be in LA tonight. And then, that's it. Sorry.
We have this would be considered, even though there are 6 games going on, this would be considered a fairly quiet night in the National Hockey League, as Devils can actually have a chance shorthanded. Siegenthaler takes a shot, and that one gets sticked off by number 12 of the Bruins. It goes out of play just 11 seconds into the Bruins power play. So Bruins off to a slow start on this one. Shimo Nemec was the one that created that opportunity in the first place there.
A brick wall needed in the Devils' defense, and the Devils need to exploit the Bruins' weaknesses.
Well, have we discovered yet what the Bruins' weaknesses are?
We have no. Well, I
guess what I'm at. Okay, what's the weakness? It's not the playoffs, right? It's not the playoffs. So I got not I think really what the Devils have to do is start using their speed a lot more. I feel like at times they're not doing that. They're being too cautious and not more aggressive, and that's I want to see that. I want to see that change is really what I'm trying to say here. Is now the Bruins still kind of struggling to set up here. Finally get it. Pasternak feeds it over to number 12. Excuse me, that's Kevin Shattenkirk. Didn't even realize that was Shattenkirk as that puck comes out of the zone.
Shattenkirk.
Kevin Shattenkirk.
Important power play to kill off, though. You got to stay in this game. And I think it's important where I've said it all the time in any game of hockey is you can't take yourself out of the game. So it's important for them to get out of this power play, keep it 1-0. And even if it stays like this going into the third period, you have to consider that a win for the Devils a little bit because you do not want to take yourself out of the game. Try not to make too many more mistakes, just like kind of what we saw on that first goal there. You got to try to keep yourself in it and don't let Boston overwhelm you with the shots that they're going to provide here in the second.
For sure. So far on this power play, Bruins struggling really just to get it into the zone as that puck again comes back out. As now Pasternak will hold. He'll dump it off to Charlie Coyle. Coyle lost it, intercepted by Dawson Mercer. And then Colin Miller will just pick it up and flip it back down with 50 seconds. So again, Bruins haven't even gotten close to getting a shot on this power play. Again, there's still 40 seconds to go on it, but right now Devils are doing a good job of frustrating the Bruins as Pasternak trying to get around Kevin Ball. He can't. Colin Miller gets to it, chip it over to Kevin Ball, and then Mercer will get it out again for New Jersey with 30 seconds to go. Here comes Coyle now. Coyle into the zone, still with it, wraps it around the boards, it gets it over to 51. Now Lindholm over the right side to Pasternak. David Pasternak loses the puck, still gets to it. Nico Kisha trying to get it out. Puck comes to the top of the point now. Holstress waits, takes a shot. That one gets blocked. A diving block there. Not sure who made that block, but a great one by the Devils nonetheless. And that will pretty much do it for this Bruins power play. Really not much of anything there. Just a really good kill for the Devils. One that was sorely needed.
Yeah, desperately needed that one. It was a good kill. Didn't really let a lot of chances come in. Never really a chance for the Bruins to kind of set up. So it was a good kill. And real quick, too, just bringing up another comment. Sabres used their speed against the Rangers in 1. Devils didn't use their speed and lost to the Rangers. Don't want to bring up what happened last night because the Leafs did go in and kind of did that. So
they kind of did the thing last night.
They just throwing that in there,
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it later.
Islanders did score, by the way.
Oh, okay, good. So,
according to RJ.
RJ did score. Yes, RJ did score. Jeez.
RJ did
Islanders scored. Yeah.
I like that. RJ did score.
A reminder for everybody: tomorrow, the Capitals are taking on the Flyers, as both teams are still in the playoff position as of right now. The Jackets will be in Toronto tomorrow night to take on the Leafs. The Hurricanes are in Detroit to take on the Red Wings. We'll be live for the Flames and Wild tomorrow night, 8:00. So make sure to check us out. Lightning will be in Edmonton tomorrow night. Should be a good one. Another good one should be the Florida Panthers doing their Western Road swing, as the Panthers will be in Vancouver to take on the Canucks. With it wrapping up as Bedard heads to Seattle for the first time to take on the Kraken.
There you go. As that puck goes down, will that be an icing? It will be against the Devils. Just about 4.5 minutes into the second period. No, still 1-0 Bruins. As again, that really good block at the end of that Bruins power play was by Colin Miller. He took that puck right to the left ankle on a Poitras shot there, and he was able to get up eventually, but that was a stinger and a half.
So, real quick, because I remember, I don't know if you remember, Neil, but when we did the stream, it was the Flyers stream, right? And then the Rangers, I believe, were playing Pittsburgh, and I think Jimmy was on that stream, and I hopped over for the last couple minutes because it was a close game.
Right.
I don't know what the heck is going on over there, but there's something about food. I don't know what it is. I have to ask Jimmy at some point because there's some sort of food related. By the way, he kills it in views. I don't know what he's doing, but they do some sort of food thing over there, food puns or whatever. No idea what it is. Somehow it's working, and I appreciate it.
Hey, you know what? And we appreciate Jimmy very much for all the hard work that he does over on not just on the live watch longs, but also the podcast episode that he does. Very much appreciate it. We will be doing a Metropolitan Division Roundtable, another episode soon. We were supposed to do it last week, but some things came up, and it's not easy.
Christmas. It's Christmas time. It's basically the holidays.
It is for sure. As Timo Meier just took a shot just moments ago that went wide. Timo Meier continuing to be pretty much a very big disappointment in New Jersey, not just like this year, but even kind of dating back to when he got traded from San Jose to New Jersey. He has still yet to really find his footing, although I will argue a little bit that I think he is still playing hurt. He did have an injury that kept him out for some time earlier this year, and he was on a 3-game goal streak and a 6-game point streak when he got hurt. But he seems to be still struggling right now.
He's a guy that I'm going to look back on and think, I don't think he needed a change of scenery. I know he wanted to be dealt because he wanted to win, and the Devils were in a position in the play, like for where they were in the standings last year and then the playoffs and yada, yada, yada. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I really think the change of scenery kind of hurts him a little bit. And what are your thoughts on the contract so far with Meier?
I'm going to hold on that because the trivia question just came back up again. Allmarket Swayman won the Jennings Trophy last season, in addition to Marty Brodeur, who alongside Marty Brodeur is the other Devils goalie to win the award. I said it was Chris Terreri. You said it was Scott Clemenson. And we will see in just a moment here what the answer is as I'm patiently waiting. We were both wrong. Mike Dunham in 1996-97. Mike Dunham. There you go.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Dunham. Sick, dude. He's an American goaltender. I'm going to bring up his stats. He was a 3rd-round pick by the Devils back in 1990. He played in 394 career games, had 141 wins, 19 shutouts, a pretty solid 2.74 goals against average, and a career .908 save percentage. So there you go.
Never heard of him either. Andrew's saying, Neil, I told Jimmy this last stream, hope you both do a Rangers Devils live stream the next time that they play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for it. Schedule pending. It's always
schedule pending.
But no,
such a celebrity.
No, I'm an ass. I'm just being an asshole. No, I would love to do one with Jimmy. I still want to do one with the Surge cast. I mean, that's already a given. They clearly want to do one.
what's funny is like, and we've been saying it for most of the year now, is like you're not playing division opponents until like February, right? So to
Yeah.
give you an example real quick, like you're not going to face the Hurricanes until February, right? And then the next time you play the Rangers is also in late February.
February 22nd to be exact, as Andrew just put in the chat.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
February 22nd. So maybe you should pencil it in right now. Maybe just
probably
pencil it in
should.
just see what happens. Yes.
Next commercial break, I'll pencil it in.
Yes. And then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Also, our good buddy Connor is in the chat. What's going on? Evening, Connor. Hope you are doing well today.
What's up? What's up?
Also, shout out to the 21 people that are hanging out with us right now in the chat. Do appreciate it. Get 1-0 Bruins here in this game against the New Jersey Devils. Kevin Ball drops it over to Tyler Toffoli. Now to the left side to Timo Meier with a shot, and he missed it high and wide of the net. And he actually deflected up and out of play. Might have gotten a stick. 13:47 to go here in the second period. Still 1-0 Bruins here over the Devils. And still feels like a fairly even game even at this point.
Well, real quick, the updated DraftKings betting odds right now for this game is the Bruins are currently at -160 and the Devils are at +140. So if you want to go ahead and place your bets right now, you can use code THPN, which I think you totally should. If you want to, I don't know, win a couple bucks here or there, you want to place a little bet on the Bruins to maybe win the game. They're at -160 right now.
You can live bet.
Just throw in $10 and see what happens.
You can live bet, guys. This is a thing.
I don't live bet, just to be frank.
I know people that do, but that's what I'm telling you.
I don't. I'm like in the game. I can't. But you guys can.
You guys, right? Everyone else can. Exactly. Exactly here. But Andrew asking me a question. Are you going to the Devils MetLife Game Stadium Series? I am indeed. I'll be up in the 300s, and I get to spend the first 45 minutes of the day listening to the Jonas Brothers as they were announced as the pregame show for this, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
Get the pom-poms out.
They are from Jersey, so there's that part. But it's also good marketing if you really think about it from the NHL. I mean, the Jonas Brothers having their big tour right now. They're back. A lot of people love them. It's an opportunity to get more people who are don't watch hockey very much or not into it to then go to the game and all that stuff. I mean, I get it. Do I wish it was somebody like, I don't know. I'm not going to say Bruce Springsteen or Bon Jovi because I don't think it's that. Gaslight Anthem.
We got to catch up with the time at some point.
Gaslight Anthem. It's my response.
Gaslight Anthem. Wow.
Well, Gaslight Anthem's song "Howl" is actually the goal song for the Devils. So I mean, it kind of would work out in that way.
Okay, interesting.
Well,
Connor's saying he's been doing fine, by the way, just better after he went ballistic after the Canucks did lose to the New Jersey Devils.
That was a crazy 6-5 win for the Devils.
It was.
The Devils had a multiple goal lead as now Jesper Bratt has a step with a shot, and that one is stopped and covered by Swayman. That was a back and forth game. And then, Canucks tied it late 5-5. Jesper Bratt gets a goal with 33 seconds left to basically win the game anyway. But it's a crazy game in the first Hughes Bowl, I might add, because Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes both had a goal in that one. Quinn Hughes had a couple of assists. I think the Hughes brothers combined for about 5 points in that game anyway. So it lived up to the hype, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
I think that was
for sure.
Important. Also, I didn't realize the My Chemical Romance is from New Jersey. I didn't know that.
I did not know that either.
Black Parade. I mean, that makes sense. That would be kind of
nice. Cool.
Yeah. Again, nice. Is it gonna get asses in the seats? Probably not. This is all about.
I don't know if it will.
I mean, would I be excited about it? Yes. So, I mean, I'm going to make a funny comment that said I went to a hockey game and a Jonas Brothers concert broke out.
Can you go grab a dollar store Jonas Brothers shirt and just wear that to the game?
Wearing that. Do I
just
think
under your jersey? Yeah, break it out during the concert and then just
they come on, just take it off, just be like, yeah.
You in like 20-degree weather, like freezing
Yeah,
your butt
forget
off
that.
during that.
I was just at MetLife on Monday, and that was cold, and that was like 30 degrees. I'm not
Tommy
even.
DeVito,
Yeah,
baby.
right, Tom. We'll talk about Tommy DeVito. Turnover here by the Devils, and that shot by Riemsdyk goes just over the head of Vanacek. That puck comes over to the right side. Bruins looking to try to keep it in here on the forecheck. Poitras now on the right side being hounded by 3 different Devils players. Both teams kind of whacking at it right now, still whacking at it on the right side. Puck comes loose. Poitras gets to it for Boston. Poitras lost it. It's intercepted by Timo Meier, and Meier will look to come the other way here, but he lost it. It's taken away by the Bruins, and they'll slowly set up here. Long feed gets intercepted for a moment. Bruins retain it. So now Grzelcyk drops it over now to DeBrusque, now to Pastrnak. Pastrnak fighting along with Luke Hughes. Pastrnak wins that battle and wraps it around the boards. Colin Miller gets knocked down, no penalty. Puck comes out in front, nobody home, but Bruins keep it in. As now Shattenkirk holds it, takes a shot that gets blocked harmlessly to the left side. Dawson Mercer now fighting along with Pastrnak. Mercer now behind the net, looking for help. Puck comes out. Pastrnak whacking at it. Both teams kind of whacking at it. As now gets it over. Backhand try just out of the reach of Pastrnak. Now gets it over to Heinen. Now over to Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk now drops it and lost by 39. He regains it. Gets it over to Pastrnak. Waits. Wrist shot. And that one just goes wide of Vanacek. Good pressure here from the Bruins top line right now. Pastrnak gets it now to Sig. Takes a shot. And that one is stopped and covered by Vanacek. And then Palat and Geeky with a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle there. No harm, no foul.
Nope. Still, though, I'm not seeing from the Devils, they're still, like, even on those turnovers there that Van Riemsdyk had a good opportunity with, they're still losing some of these puck battles on the boards, and you can't let them take on those opportunities. They'll take it, and boom, like, as soon as you know it, good shot on goal against Vanacek, and, you know, luckily he's able to kind of hold the fort there, but still, you can't be losing those battles in your own zone.
I was just laughing at this Connor comment. In that game, the Giraffe Myers took one to his left, said, that's my teammate Quinn. Have the puck. Only a second later, he mistook Quinn for Jack. Then, boom, the Devils scored. Yes. Which
I love that.
Someone did mention in that situation that Jack did a good job of recognizing that Tyler Myers is a turnover machine and just turned over the puck very easily. But that was a really – I think Connor did a better job of describing that turnover by the giraffe known as Tyler Myers.
I think anybody could do it better over the commentators that we have up on Sportsnet that could do a better job with that.
Very true. As now Nate Bastian loses his stick, and let's see if that's going to be a penalty. No, refs say play on here. As now the Bruins get to it as Grzelcyk comes in, got some space. Matt Grzelcyk tries to feed it in front, nobody home. Devils look to try to get it out, and now they'll get to it as Shimo Nemec. Nemec drops it off to Curtis Lazar. Lazar will come up the right side. He still has it now, and he gets crunched along the boards. And now the Bruins will get to it as 14 chips it off the boards. Kevin Ball intercepts it. He'll keep it in for New Jersey, wraps it around the boards, gets it now over to Holtz, gets it over to Holland now on the left side. Left side back over to the other side there where Dawson Mercer stops. He has it, still with it now. He'll wrap it around the other way to Eric Holla. Holla now being pinned, intercepted by Boston. They'll try to get it out, and they do. Mercer will get back for New Jersey with 10.5 to go in the second period. Dawson Mercer drops it to Holtz. Holtz with a drive, and that one is stopped, and the rebound try is covered by Swayman. And you know what, Kyle? You know what, Kyle? That's a really good example of what we were talking about with Vitek Vanacek. You see where Swayman, he makes the save, puck comes out on a rebound, but he immediately grabs his stick and pulls it back. Whereas Vanacek, he knocks it down, but then he doesn't reach out to get it. You know what I mean?
He doesn't react to it. Yeah, correct.
Right.
I mean, hey, the Devils almost had a chance on like the one where Bastian lost his stick. I thought he was going to go on a breakaway there a little bit, but you're right. Like that tells you so much about two goaltenders right there. Where Swayman's a guy who's going to protect the puck, where Vanacek's just kind of like, oh, where's the puck? Oh, I got to get ready to make another save here, right? So it's protecting the puck and making sure that you're not giving up those rebounds, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
For sure. It's now the Devils' top line out right now. Toffoli tries to throw it in front, gets blocked. Jack Hughes on the right side, loses it. Puck goes down to the left side here. As now the Bruins will look to come the other way. They sort of can, and now they'll dump it out. Bruins.
Sorry, I was just reading this. Very lucky he's bailed out by his door off, by the way. Never saw that trade coming. I kind of did too, but I mean, I'm over it now. It is what it is.
I was over it now.
2026 third round pick. I love it. However, we didn't retain any salary. So, I mean,
That's a good part of it. So Jack Hughes drops it over to DeFoley. Now to Nemec. Devils will slowly make their way here. Drops it over to Timo Meier. Meier now waiting for help. Wraps it around the boards over to Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes to Palat. Palat with a backhand try. That one is stopped. And again, the rebound is snuffed and covered by Swayman with 9:14 to go in this second period. Still 1-0 Bruins here. Kyle, honestly, I think this has been a pretty good game. It's only 1-0, and we're more than halfway through it.
Well, a lot of our picks are not doing so well. Andrew had early on 5-4. Jared had 3-2, which is still kind of in that realm. 4-3 for Liam for the Bruins, and then Devils 3-2 as well. So not a lot, I mean, in terms of goal scoring, but I'm kind of surprised we're at this point right now that it's still 1-0.
Well, I think it's fair to say that both goaltenders have been solid. I mean, despite Vanacek, yes, giving up that rebound goal, which is the only difference in this one, he didn't let it affect him. Like, he made a couple of he made saves after that. He stopped 13 of the 14 shots he's faced. So, he's been able to redeem himself. The offense for the Devils, just like against Edmonton, really just not there tonight right now.
Right. Real quick update. There's 2 quick goals that kind of went on. It's now 2-1 Islanders there in the second period. And it is the end of the second here. It's 3-3 between the Penguins and the Canadiens. So
talk about a high-scoring affair. There's your high-scoring affair tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of needed that, but again, they're not taking themselves out of it and starting to show more chances here in the second period. So we'll see how that goes.
You just saw in the last couple of minutes there that the Devils' third line with a couple of really good chances, honestly. And I think the Devils might be slowly starting to find their game a little bit more, starting to find some more chances. And I think that, hopefully, that can result in them getting it. But I think right now what you're not seeing enough from the Devils is they're not creating a lot of traffic in front of Swayman. Even with those really good shots, there's nobody in front of Swayman to disrupt that rebound. Like, there's nobody there. And that's kind of a thing that I'm having a problem with, that they have to do a better job. They got to get bodies in front, really make it tougher on Swayman, and have to get him to be a little bit more athletic than he's been so far.
Sorry, I just saw Milo said about to be 4-3 Devils in overtime.
Right, that's to go from one goal to adding about 6 more.
More, yeah, why not?
Could happen. Could very well happen in this one. It's a shot off the face-off. This goes wide of Swayman there. As the Devils immediately with an opportunity. That shot gets blocked. Devils good pressure again right now. As Nico Hischier in the left corner right now. As now Timo Meier will get to it for New Jersey. Meier with a turnaround shot. That one is stopped by Swayman as he hugged the post. Devils still with the pressure on right now as John Marino tries to chip it over to Timo Meier. As now it's intercepted by Lindholm, as he almost turned it over, but Pastrnak gets to it, and the Bruins will get it out and back into the Devils' zone. But Devils' second line, some good pressure there, but against Swayman, really good job, particular hugging the post there. Is now the Bruins with opportunity with a shot there by Pastrnak, gets fought up by Vanacek, and the Devils will dump it all the way back down, and it will be an icing here with 8:29 to go in the second. But a great opportunity for Pasta, but a better save from Vanacek there.
For sure. Connor did bring up a question I just wanted to bring up too as well. Do you think that Brock Besser tying for the league with 21 goals is a surprise, or does it make the expected 40-plus goal scorers look really bad? So
I will say that. Is it a contract year for him?
That's a great. Let me look.
Because if it is, then that would, to me, explains everything as to why he's having the year that he's having. But if not, then I just look at it as he's finally not under that major pressure that I think he had been dealing with for the last couple of years. He's just another product of the Canucks' success and the coaching job that Rick Tocchet and his staff have done. And he's just taken advantage of the chances that he's been given. Those are my responses to that.
He's got 2 years left on a $6.65 million deal in that regard. Elias Pettersson, do not forget, is on the last year of a RFA deal.
right.
He's currently making $7.3 million. He will be due for another contract come this summer.
I'm kind of scared to know where he's going to go, and
Pedersen's going to make probably $11 million.
11 million. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to make more than Huberdeau.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He's going to make more than Huberdeau.
Going to make more than Jack Hughes for damn sure.
And more than Jack Hughes.
Which again, Jack Hughes has probably the best contract of any star player in the league, considering how I'm going to say how little he's making.
Man, here's my problem with Vancouver right now, though. And I'm looking at cap friendly. And I get that Miller's doing so well this year. I get it. You're paying the guy $8 million for the next 7 years. You think he's going to keep that up for the next 7 goddamn years?
Nope.
No. He's not going to keep that up. Look at his recent history. He's just having a good year, and all credit to him. I'm not shitting on him for that.
Right.
But, he's having a great year. But it's like you're paying the guy $8 million for the next 7 years. You're taking up 10% of your cap.
Eventually, that contract is going to be the most
That's going to suck.
Yeah, it's
no. The most hated one's going to be us. We'll take the mantle. That's going to be Huberdeau for sure. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Long term? I'm thinking long term. I think it's going to be Miller. Personally.
Miller, okay, fair enough. We'll see.
I would say this year, it's definitely Calgary.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like no one's going to debate that.
No, for sure. And what's funny is that, Connor Garland, Mikheyev have 3 years left on their deal. Kuzmenko's got 2 years left on his deal, and then basically everybody else has a 1-year contract. They're up for a contract this year.
Right.
Quinn Hughes, for what he's doing this year, he's making 7.8 in the next 4 years on his contract, and will be a UFA by the end of it. Everybody else has a 1-year. I'm not even kidding you. Everybody else is a 1-year are up this summer. Myers, Hornick, Zadorov, Cole, and Friedman are all up this year. That's crazy.
Vancouver's going to be fascinating to watch in the summer, just in terms of who they're going to keep, who they're going to move on from, the money and everything. I'm really going to be curious. I don't want to think about it now because, with Vancouver playing as well as it is, I think Canucks fans should just be enjoying the moment that they're in. And
yes. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's hard not to think about moving forward, into the next season and beyond. Oh, what's going to happen? This, that, and the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's if I'm going to pay a guy that much money, I want to be known. If I'm the GM, right? I want to know that, okay, I can trust you that you're clearly going to be a part of a team that's going to win the cup. Right? That you're going to be the guy, right? The top 2 or 3 guys and if you look back in recent history, right? Where you looked at Vegas, right? It took a whole team to do it in that case. But I've looked back even further is Tampa Bay, it's been Kucherov, it's been Stamkos, it's been Hedman, it's been Vasilevsky. When Colorado won the cup, it was McKinnon, Makar, Ranson, and, the line goes down. And you just think of those names and it's they're superstar players. I can't think of Miller in that same category. Do you agree, or am I crazy?
No, I agree with you because JT Miller has never been a guy that has been a top 30 guy.
Right. Again, all credit to him that he's having a phenomenal
year. For sure. He's having a phenomenal year. Is he having I could make an argument that he could be an all-star this year. Honestly.
He will.
He probably will. But is this contract gonna be good in a year or two? Probably not. Probably not, especially when you have to start.
I'll give you a year or two. I'll give you a year.
All right, so in 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years, it'll decline. But I'm saying in year 5 or 6, it's going to suck. Right.
And that's kind of where you're looking at this is not going to be the greatest.
It's crazy that they signed him to that. It's crazy.
Well, I guess in their mind, they really didn't want to lose him. And unfortunately, in many of these situations, you end up overpaying for the guy that you want. I've often said, a lot of people will say the worst contract on the Devils is Andre Palat, who makes about $5 million a year for the next.
But he was your best player in the playoffs last year.
Well, that's the thing. everybody says, oh, they overpaid for him. I'm like, well, here's the thing. You're paying for a dude that's won 3 cups. Or sorry, 2.
You're paying for that player.
You're paying for that. Like, you're paying for a guy who has been in the playoffs long into June and is there to help us when the playoffs come on. And when the playoffs got underway, he stepped up. Like, you know, nobody's asking him to pop 30 goals this year. Nobody is asking him of that. No. But if that's the worst contract we have at $5 million, we must be doing a good job.
Absolutely.
Right.
Another team that I was going to mention real quick before we move on here with the game, because the Kraken did end an 8-game losing streak.
They did.
I think that's another team that's going to be very interesting this offseason because they have a lot of guys that are on their last year of their deals. Their highest paid guy is Vince Dunn, who's making $7.5 million a year for the next 4 years, I believe.
Which, by the way, I think is a really good contract. Personally.
Great contract. Yeah, I think it's good. The guy's young, and you got to give him some time to develop. And then after that, it's like Jordan Eberle is also going to be a free agent this year, right? He's the top guy. He's making 5.5 right now, and he's the top guy on in terms of how much they're getting paid. So I'm curious to see what the Kraken do this offseason as well. And then before you answer that, I just want to see what Connor says here. Was stealing a living last season with his antics, and I wanted his contract ripped up, doing what is expected, and that's good to know. However, I can't be certain he'll keep it up. That's what we're trying to say.
That's the only I don't get.
Not a knock, though.
He was really, really critical of the team last year. It said a lot of things that irritated a lot of people. Correct. And yet he gets rewarded with that big time of a contract. It's like, okay, like, don't really get where you're coming from, but all right. Like, that was kind of my reaction.
Now that you're getting paid that, you better show up. You better be that type of guy that guys want to be around in that locker room.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. So the Devils keep it in here. John Marino with a shot. That one gets deflected. Scramble in front. Puck is still loose. Where's the puck? It comes back out all the way out of the zone. And that was a good example right there, Kyle, of the Devils had bodies in front and made it a bit more difficult for Swayman to maybe see that puck. Unfortunately, it didn't get through to him, didn't get past him there, but he did have to look back because he wasn't exactly sure where that was.
Definitely been a better second period in terms of shots, and a little.
Oh, and Jack Hughes gets tripped up, and we have a power play coming up for the Devils with 4:14 to go in this period.
Big power play coming up.
Massive power play coming up here for New Jersey. Is again, they're still looking for the equalizer here. It's again. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Jeremy Swayman playing well tonight does not surprise me in the slightest. Just does not.
It doesn't surprise me either. No,
I think it's more for me. It's like VTech. He stopped 14 of 15. I'm like, that's pretty good. They had that slot shot from Pastrnak, and I'm thinking, well, that's going to go in. And he ends up stopping it, like Stone Cold stops it. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, we have a good goalie matchup tonight. It's as shocking as that might sound to some people. We actually do.
Yeah, it's been good. I think Vanchek's bounced back kind of nicely, but a lot of pressure here by the Devils this last little bit here, and they're going to get a chance here on the power play.
Well, right now they're back in their own zone here as the Bruins cleared it right off as Brandon Carlo goes to the box. 2 minutes for tripping at the 15:46 mark. So the Devils come in. They're actually starting with their second power play unit to start this one. Interesting. As Nemec gets it over to the right side to Dawson Mercer. Mercer now feeds a one-time shot, and that one gets blocked. Puck in the left corner. Devils get to it. Gets it top of the point to Nemec. Now on the left side to Timo Meier. Meier left faceoff dog. Gets it back top of the point to Nemec. Nemec still with it. At the top of the point. Drops it over to Mercer. Mercer fighting along with Grzelcyk here. He's in the right side. Getting over to Palat. And that puck comes out in front, but nobody home. Timo Meier, top of the point now again to Nemec. Nemec over to Alex Holtz. Holtz now to Timo Meier behind the net. Feeds it. There's Mercer with a shot and a great diving save by Swayman. Devils keep it alive. Nemec now over to Mercer. Mercer still with it. He's looking for somebody. Still with it now. Mercer drops it over to Nemec. Puck got deflected, but the Devils get to it for a moment, and the Bruins clear with 45 seconds to go. What a save from Jeremy Swayman on that short side off a shot from Dawson Mercer. Now the Devils look for maybe one last rush here. There's now Nico Hischier. Tried to feed it over, gets it to Nemec, intercepted by Lindholm, and Lindholm will clear it again with 30 seconds to go.
I just want to see this diving save. I want to know, anytime somebody says...
I don't know if it was a diving save. It was more like he got over in time to get a...
Oh,
get a piece of it. Now Nico Hischier with a shot that just goes wide. Devils keeping it in. Jack Hughes on the right side. He gets knocked off the puck by Coyle, and the Bruins easily clear it out. And that is pretty much going to do it for the Devils' power play. So again, another good chance or two, but the Devils cannot convert again as it remains 1-0 here. Boston, as Luke Hughes will dump it in. And now number 6 will get it over now to Matt Grzelcyk, who will dump it out of the zone. So another missed opportunity there on the power play for New Jersey.
Do you still know who number 6 is on Boston? I've heard you say number 6 so many times tonight.
No, well, I think it's like Laurel. I'm so bad at this.
No, it's okay. I've heard you say it. I want to help you out.
For people who don't know, I have a reputation where, like, if I don't know the player's name, I just say their number. So I'm not saying it because I'm trying to be mean or that I can't pronounce the dude's name. It's that if I really don't know who the player is, I'm not going to try to pretend that I know who that person is.
No, and I agree. That's good.
David Pastrnak one-on-one with Nemitz, toe drag, gets it on the forehand, and somehow that didn't go in. I think Vanacek might have gotten a piece. I have no idea how Pastrnak didn't score. That would have been a highlight reel goal for number 88. I can't believe he didn't score there.
Really? I was just going to say that Loray is number 6. Thank you.
Loray. I was close.
Yeah, I want to see this though.
Mason Loray. Thank you, RJ. I appreciate that. So now I'm going to say it right moving forward. So now Mercer comes the other way with 50 seconds to go in the period. Mercer will chip it into the left side. It's now 14. Again, I don't know who 14 is, so don't shoot me. Siegenthaler now over to Holtz, and Holtz will dump it back into the Bruins zone with 40 seconds to go in the period. 14, chips it over now to Geekie. Puck comes out to center ice, but it's intercepted by Kevin Ball. As now Holtz lost it. Here comes Poitras. Poitras lost it for a moment. Now gets it to Geekie. Now over to right side now to James Van Riemsdyk. Puck comes out in front. And Vanacek will dive and make the save with 21.7 to go in the period.
What a move by Pastrnak. I think it was because that when we see the replay, it looks like Vanacek had a pad on it. I think he got it.
Also, they just showed again the save from Swayman on the power play. Really, Mercer, he shot it right at the chest of Swayman instead of shooting it at the open side. Showed a replay of the Pastrnak opportunity. Yes, Vanacek got a leg pad on that.
Yeah, I saw it the last second. It looked like that he got a pad on it too.
What a play. Face off one here by the Devils.
Thank you.
Loray.
You wanted to get it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Please, Bruins fans, do not yell at me. I am not being unfair. I am trying very hard.
And 14 is Ian Mitchell. There you go.
Okay, guys.
We're just
to be fair. If you're not a Bruins fan, would you honestly know who Ian Mitchell is?
Yes.
Or Mason Loray?
I would know Mitchell. Yeah, Ian Mitchell's been in the league for years.
All right, cool. So, all right, that one I'll give you. But, Mason Loray, come on. That's a little
I know.
It's a little I'm getting screwed. You don't think Bruins fan is who is Shimon Nemitz? I'm just, wondering. But, anyway, horn sounds, and that'll do it for what was a pretty entertaining 20 minutes of play there in the second period. Both teams with some really good opportunities, but it has been a really good goaltending matchup between Jeremy Swayman and Vitek Vanacek. Still 1-0 now after 40. Kyle, your thoughts now after 2 periods?
Next goal is going to say a lot, right? Either Devils tie it up or the Bruins take. If they end up getting this next goal, it's going to be really tough, especially the way that Jeremy Swayman's playing tonight and the way that the Bruins have, kind of set themselves up defensively. So, man, it's going to be a tight third period, it looks like. And I feel like it's going to take that one turnover on either end to really set the tone for that third period.
For sure. And I think, hats off to both Swayman and Vanacek for making some really good saves, particularly in those last couple of minutes there when the Devils had a power play and then Pastrnak almost scored that highlight reel goal. Both guys kind of stepped up and made the saves that they needed to kind of keep the score where it is. So we are in for what should be a pretty exciting third period. Maybe we'll need extra time. Who knows? We shall see. But before we continue on here with our game, we're going to step aside for another moment to get another word from our sponsors. And welcome back, everybody, here to our second intermission report of our game between the Boston Bruins and the New Jersey Devils. And after now 40 minutes of play, it is still a 1-0 contest in favor of the Bruins. Again, thanks to a late first period goal from Morgan Geekie. In that second period, again, both teams trading some really good chances. You know, Vitek Vanacek and Jeremy Swayman have both been very strong through the first 40 minutes of this one. Both teams have had their chances. Bruins have had one power play, didn't do pretty much anything on it. Devils have had two power plays and just haven't been able to find the back of the net yet. But I think overall, Kyle, you know, you and I were hoping for a good game, and I think it's fair to say we've got a good one here through through the first two periods.
Yeah, it's not like one of those 1-0 games where it's been like the dull back and forth, like nothing's really happening. There's been some good chances on either end, good power play opportunities, and yeah, I think we are in for a good third period. So I'd be curious to see if there's any way that the Devils can kind of break Jeremy Swayman here a little bit tonight, and we'll see what happens.
For sure. And I think the one question I have for you, Kyle, is this. And, I normally ask you this right before the period starts, but I'll ask you now. What is the one thing let's put it this way. If you're the Bruins, what is your focus? What's your mindset going into this final 20 minutes of play?
Well, you certainly don't want to have the mindset of holding the fort down, right?
Right.
If you're going to win this game, you're going to have the mindset of, okay, we have to go get that second goal. We do not want this thing to go to overtime. We have to be the ones that are more urgent than the Devils to get that second goal, right? So in terms of urgency, it's got to be Boston's mindset going into this third period. They have to act like this is a tie game right now. Because Devils get one, all of a sudden this thing could be going overtime just like that. So, in terms of the Bruins, they have to be the ones that have to be kind of get going right off at the face-off draw at the start of this third period, and they got to get going.
Do you feel that the next goal is going to somehow open this game up wide open? Like all of a sudden, somebody's going to score several goals, or do you think it's like we're only going to see maybe another goal or two?
I think it's going to be another goal or two. I don't see this really being. I think both goaltenders are playing very well tonight, as Henrik Lundqvist is trying to explain to us with just a blocker and a glove and a stick. That's all he's got. I have no idea what he's trying to show.
It's that Hall of Fame talk you're hearing.
Yeah, it is. But no, in terms of this third period with goals, I think it's just one of those kind of games where both goaltenders are playing well, despite Vanacek letting in that one kind of bad rebound goal there. Both goaltenders are playing well. That's the type that you're going to see going in this third period, because you're going to see that level of consistency kind of go into it. Wouldn't surprise me if I'm wrong, because I've been wrong before about this stuff. But I just think the way that they've been playing, the way that the structure of this game has kind of gone so far, that's how I kind of see it fading out.
Yeah, and I think that it feels like to me, and Amanda Stein, who covers the Devils, who's Devils team reporter, said earlier in this second period, it feels like it's going to take an absolutely perfect shot to get one past Jeremy Swayman tonight, because it's not one of those games where it's a bad goal or a bad bounce or this, that, and the other thing. He is on his game tonight. He is locked and loaded and ready. He was ready from puck drop, and he's on one tonight. And so I don't think that's as much of a surprise. I think it's more that Vitek Vanacek, after he gave up that goal, you're thinking, especially if you've been watching the Devils, you think, well, now he's going to give up probably another 2 or 3 and really just kind of take us out of this game. But other than that, the opposite of that, he's done the exact opposite. He forgot about it and has made several really, really good saves, particularly that late one there by David Pastrnak, who was able to get it on a toe drag on the backhand and almost tuck it in anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And you're right. It's going to take that perfect shot. It's not going to be a perfect shot, or it's going to be a garbage goal type of situation, right? And that kind of feels like that's the way it's going to be. You're not going to go in 3-on-2, for example, doesn't matter who has the puck for the Devils, and take any sort of random shots on net. Jeremy Swayman is just going to see those at the end of the day, right? That's right. Just the way it's been throughout this entire game. So it's going to take those kind of chances to get by him.
And so, yeah, I mean, we're definitely in for an exciting period. I have a hunch that someone's going to score early in this period. I don't know. I'm not going to say what team. I just have a hunch that someone's going to get an early goal. And I think that any goal that we see up from this point on moving forward, it's going to be like a really nice goal. I don't think we're going to get, puck bounces up in the air, gets knocked down, hits off someone's arm or something and goes in. It feels like for either team, it feels like it has to be like a perfect shot, really good opportunity type of goal.
They were just showing highlights, Canadiens and Penguins.
Oh, you mean this game?
On tonight. Yeah, that game where it's currently 3-3. The first goal that the Habs scored, it was Dennis Savard going in, nobody touching him. He's all alone, and he sniped it past Tristan Jarry. Like, if that doesn't tell you about this Penguins season so far, it's Dennis Savard going in, doing his little stick handle and just sniping it past Tristan Jarry. So now Crosby gets another point tonight. That puts him 13th, tied with Mark Recchi for all-time points leaders in NHL history. So he's at 1533 in terms of points. He's 13th overall, tied with Mark Recchi in the NHL points leaders.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Another score update. Ducks and Islanders now tied at 2 after 2 periods of play. So we got another good one on the island there. And Islanders, they haven't won a ton recently, but they've been able to get points consistently. I think they've gotten points in their last 7 or 8 games in a row now. Like they've really kind of turned it on of late.
They are currently second place in the Metropolitan Division.
Well, tied for second, but yes.
Well, yeah, tied for second.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But it shouldn't overstate the fact that they also have 7 overtime losses, right? So if you're just looking at it on a win-loss
standpoint. They also have 10 blown losses this year, by the way.
Right. So if you're looking at it because when it comes to the playoffs, right, you can't hide, right? Because anytime they change that format to 5-on-5 overtime and they just play it out, right? It's not one of these things where it's 3-on-3, then they go to a shootout, right? It's going to be one of those things where you're going to be exposed, right? That's the best time of year where teams get exposed. It's always playoff time. And if the Islanders happen to get there, if you look at them at a win-loss ratio without these overtime loss points, they're 13-14. They're under 500. They are a 500 team right now, and that says a lot, right? And I can say that too because with the way that the Flames played last year, you take out all those overtime losses, we'd be dead last in the league, right?
Right.
That's just the reality of it, right? That's the way we've seen it for years and years and years. And good teams when you see it based off of you take away some of those overtime loss records. So that's just something to point out.
Yeah, and look, you don't think about those games as much until you get late in the year when, you're fighting for a playoff spot and maybe you're out of a spot by a point or two, and you think back to some of those games early in the year when people, look at it and be like, oh yeah, it sucks, but it's going to be what it's going to be. But at the same time, it's like, no, what if you had won one of those 2 games that you ended up blowing? That could be the difference between you getting into playoffs and you not getting in the playoffs.
Story of the Flames season last year. That's what it was.
Right. So, and that happens for teams every year. And so as much as we as fans try not to think about it, we have to realize that every game does matter. Until you're either not getting in or you are getting into the playoffs. Every single game matters. Every point matters. Every time you go on the ice, you have a chance to make a difference in getting your team closer or further away from the goal that you want to achieve. Should also mention, by the way, Kyle, fun thing here, 12 days.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
We are also 19 days from New Year's Day. Holy crap, this year is almost over.
The amount of times that I've been asked, I don't know about you and I don't know about anybody else, but the amount of times that I've been asked, oh, what do you want? From family members, right? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want? What do you want? It's like, shut up. Sometimes I just don't want much, man.
I haven't been
a gift card, I'm good to go.
I haven't been asked. I've been asked once. Because a lot of and this is I can only speak for myself, and that the older that I've gotten, the more that I just prefer to have what I want is family time and time with friends. I really don't need anything physically gift wise. I don't really want it. I don't need it. It doesn't really concern me. Like if I get it, yeah, it's cool. Like I'm going to be grateful for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't have got me anything type of thing. But it's like, if you just showed up at my house on Christmas Eve to have dinner with my family, it's like, great. That's
Cool.
that's awesome. Like that's more what I would be happy about than anything else. So like
You
I
value
guess for
that more.
me,
Yeah.
I just want those good holiday memories, I guess is
Yep.
really what I'm trying to say.
I'm in the exact same boat. I could care less. If it is like, if it's like wanting a present or whatever, it's like one or two things. Like just get me a gift card and call it a day. Like that's all I care about,
Get
right?
me a sweater.
And a sweater, right? RJ's
I
birthday
actually
is
look forward
Monday.
to people giving me a sweater. I actually get hyped about it. I'm like, yo, let's go.
How many
No,
sweaters?
because some of my family members, they get like really comfy sweaters. Like
Okay, fair
really
point.
comfy. And so I'm like, okay, we can take this.
It is RJ's birthday in 5 days, so if we're not on,
Oh, very nice. So Monday the 18th. Let's try to remember that. Let's try to remember that so we
I
can
will
give
try
him
my
a
best.
birthday shout out on the 18th. But
For sure.
yeah, so I guess like do do people nag you a lot about like New Year's resolutions or not really?
Not really. Never really had that before. It's just in particular for Christmas because my family's so big. Because on my mom and my dad's side, like they have three, a sister and two brothers, and yeah, same on both sides. So it's like not that they're giving me a lot, but because our family's so big, it's like everybody wants to send like something small, right? Like
Mhm.
nothing big, but just like a little gift card or like a keychain or whatever, like something along those lines, right? And it's like I don't like. So I've been asked like so many times, like, "What do you? It's like, what do you want? Is there anything that you need?" And I'm like, "No, stop it."
Right, right. No, I get that. Yeah, I mean like I don't think about it myself. I don't really think it's that big of a deal or important.
Yeah,
Um, and also, all of us do the same thing. We all make our resolutions like unrealistic that only last for like 2 days and then it's like
for sure.
over. Um, I guess like the big thing for me that's always exciting is that it's always just like, emotionally and mentally, you feel like it's like a fresh start to like a
Oh, it's
year.
so nice. Oh, it's so
It's so
nice.
nice, especially like if you've had like a tough year, like you kind of use it. I don't want to say as an excuse, but you kind of use it as an opportunity to kind of be like, all right, that was then, and now we're into whatever year it is.
Oh yeah,
Let's do the thing. Let's make this better. Let's take what happened in last year and let's
yep,
make it better in this year. And I think that's the way you kind of look at it. Should mention really
yep,
quickly, Kyle. Again, if Lindy Ruff does get the win tonight, he will tie
yes.
Ken Hitchcock for the fourth most wins in NHL history at 849. Lindy Ruff is about 122 away from second place all time. Joel Quenneville has 968, and I don't think Joel
It's
Quenneville is getting any closer.
what's funny is like it's doable,
It is.
right? It
He
is
signed an
doable.
extension, so I mean, it is doable.
The problem is like you need to have around, let's just say, like on average, he needs 122, right? So let's just say on average, you need about 30 wins a year, give or take, right?
Mhm.
That means that you will need to be in the league for the next 5 to 6 years in order to get this done.
He's only about 15 or 16 for third place on that
Maybe
list.
four, maybe four. Anyway,
So I think realistically, I could see him getting to third, and then also maybe pushing 900
right.
because that's entirely doable. So that's kind of the way I look at it. But the focus is let's see if the Devils can get him to win number 849. Should mention Bruins again. They are 13-1-2 this season when leading after two periods. So we'll see if they can get it to 14-1-2 as this third period is underway. Again, still 1-0 Bruins thanks to a first period goal from Morgan Geekie as the Devils come right in, and that shot just goes wide of Swayman. Devils with pressure right off the opening drop here as now Nico Hischier behind the net, still with it now, waits, still gets it top of the point to John Marino. Now over to Nico Hischier, throws it. That one is blocked. Rebound try. It's snuffed out. Tries to bank it off the back of Swayman, but he couldn't get it past him. Nico Hischier still with it now. Feeds it over now to John Marino. He still has it. Marino fires it, and that one gets knocked away by Swayman, and the Bruins will come out, and they will dump it back in. So right away, Kyle, good pressure from the Devils.
And that's what you're going to see probably. It's the early pressure that you're going to see here in this third period that's going to really set the tone. Like, you're going to see the desperation. Like, who's going to be more desperate in this third period to get that next goal? That's what we're going to see, and so far it's been New Jersey.
And I mean, obviously makes sense. You're down a goal, and your offense in the last two games has really, really gone cold. And that's the one thing that for Devils fans, you just never want to see happen. You don't want to see this offense with how much talent it has go into a cold spell. But hopefully with that pressure, it could generate some offense here. They could find the back of the net as Swayman will play it behind the net here in his own zone. Bruins being hemmed in a little bit here as now Carlo with it as he tried to get it out, but Nemec intercepts. Nemec tries to throw it in front. It gets blocked to the right corner. Nemec still with it now, tries to get it top of the point, intercepted by Marchand. And now the Bruins once again will dump it back into the Devils zone as both teams make a change. Alex Holtz now will take it up the ice with speed. Gets around one defender. Gets over to a nice feed to Erik Haula. Haula with a shot that one stopped, and the rebound try just goes wide of Mercer. James Van Riemsdyk comes the other way, the New Jersey native. Now to the right corner. He chips it over now, feeds it in front, nobody home. A drive there by the Bruins, stop. Rebound try, puck is still loose, and the Devils get to it. Erik Haula chips over to Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes has a step, drops it off to Erik Haula. Haula with the backhand try, and that one is stopped by Swayman. Luke Hughes gets it again, waits, over to Haula. Haula tries to feed it over to Mercer, it gets blocked. Mercer regains the puck, gets it top of the point, drive from Miller, and that one is stick to side. Goes up, keeps him down, puck comes out, bumps it, rebound try, and they score! And I think it might have been Alex Holtz, but it got past Swayman nonetheless, and the Devils have tied it at 1.
That's what I'm telling you, man. It's the pressure early on that's going to set the tone, and that's exactly what they've done. It's those get in front of the net, get in front of Swayman, look for those chances, and you got to bury them. So, and that's what they did. Good for them.
Dawson Mercer, I think, gets the goal. That puck bounced up in the air, and then Haula took a shot. It was stopped, hit off the post, and then bounced up in the air again, as Haula actually just hit the post, and then Mercer whacked it out of midair on a backhand, and Dawson Mercer scores, and we have a tie hockey game less than 3 minutes into the third.
Oh. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good finish. Love it. I'm just catching up now, so I'm just seeing like what happened. I'm good full minute behind you.
Dawson Mercer's 7th goal of the year is the one that ties it. Devils now with the puck again in the zone. Tries to feed it to Lazar and missed. And now the Devils will have to go back as Vanacek plays it dangerously. Wow. Where Nemec lost it. And then McLeod gets knocked down. Fans want a penalty. The refs say play on. Bruins now get to the top of the point. Feeds it over to 94. He takes a shot. That one gets blocked right behind the net. Siegenthaler one-hands it over now to Curtis Lazar, and the Devils look to get it out, and they do.
Cool.
We got love from the Philippines tonight. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Mercy. And
also,
I was just going to say, like, Swayman didn't see it initially at first, and then it goes, he tips it off the post. He had no idea where the puck is, and that's just the type of goals that you're going to have to get by him tonight. So,
for sure.
Off the post, right back to Mercer, and he deflected it in the air, too. Good for him.
He whacked it out of midair.
Yeah, good for him.
And Erik Haula and Alex Holtz with the assist on that one as we get an icing here against the Bruins. Also want to give a shout-out to my guy, Kaffinity, who is back for the first time in a year. It's the last time he hung out with us. Good to see you, Kaffinity. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Dawson Mercer, again, 7th goal of the year. He ties this game up at 1. And, look, like you just mentioned, that has to be the type of goals. I mean, was that a perfect goal? No. So that completely debunks what I said before about it has to be the perfect shot. It wasn't. But nonetheless, a goal is a goal, and you're going to take it. But now here comes David Pastrnak, try to get around Marino, stops on a dime. Lost the puck, gets knocked away. Marino gets knocked down. Again, fans want a penalty. Refs say no, play on. They're not going to call Pastrnak for a penalty. That would be crazy. Is it a turnover here? Puck comes out in front. DeBrusk gets it for Boston. Still with it now. Jake DeBrusk waits. Still gets it drive by Pastrnak, and that one is fought off by Vanacek. Bruins with some good pressure right now. Pastrnak gets around Timo Meier. Pastrnak now behind the net. Still with it now. Gets it top of the point to his defenseman. Now over to Lindholm. Lindholm with a shot through traffic. Gets blocked. Puck bouncing around here. Both teams whacking at it. Bruins get to it for a moment, but Nico Hischier will slow it down. And again,
you can feel the importance of this game right now coming up. It's a pretty big one.
Kyle, 8 third period shots through 5 minutes, 8-2 in favor of the Devils.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, that's pretty much right there. As now the Devils look to come the other way with speed. Yep. Jack Hughes still with it now, tried to drop it off to Toffoli and overshot him. But now Bratt gets to it for New Jersey. Bratt tries to chip it to Luke Hughes, but he has to come out of the zone. Luke Hughes now tried to get it over to Jack. Jack will settle it, gets around a Bruins defender, lost it, and it's intercepted by Brad Marchand. Marchand looks to come the other way for Boston. Puck bounces, it comes out, and just goes wide of Vanacek. Nearly disaster there, as Toffoli will slow it up. Toffoli he tried to dump it, but it's intercepted. Now Marchand comes back in, drops it off now with a shot, and his stick breaks. Oh, that's an unfortunate shot there from 43 of Boston. His stick broke on a shot in the slot. Heinonen, sorry.
You got it.
It was a shot by Heinonen, and his stick broke. Now the Devils come back in, feeds it over Mercer. He overskated the puck. He would have had a golden chance to shoot it there off a nice feed from Holtz. Devils third line putting pressure again. Holtz, oh my goodness, as Mercer's pass just goes wide of Holtz. Oh, they did it to each other in the span of 10 seconds. It would have been an even better chance wide open in the slot for number 10.
Good chances, though.
Oh, yeah, and this game has picked up. The energy has picked up as now Holtz into the zone for New Jersey, looking for reinforcements. Lindholm intercepts it for Boston, and they look to come the other way here. As now they'll dump it into the right corner. Siegenthaler backhands it over, wraps all the way around. Lindholm keeps it in for Boston. He takes a shot that gets blocked. Boston keeping it in. Lindholm gets knocked down from behind. No penalty. The refs continuing to let the boys play here. Haula tries to get it out. He cannot. Just remember that Eric Haula was a Bruin not less than 2 years ago.
Yep. Updated money line on DraftKings, by the way. The Devils are now at minus 110, while the Bruins are minus 120. That's how close this game is.
Now Nate Bastian comes in, tries to feed it. Puck is loose. Scramble in front. Where's the puck? They're still whacking at it. Ref waiting for a whistle, and he does get one. Puck ends up in the net, but after the whistle. But oh goodness, the fourth line for New Jersey nearly getting a goal there. But Kyle, it has been all New Jersey through the first 7 minutes of this third period.
You can tell two things. It's the momentum that the Devils have now had coming off that goal, knowing that they have them exactly where they need to. And then on the flip side of it, it's just the Bruins just being rattled a little bit here, right? They didn't expect this type of energy coming in this third period, the way that this entire game has gone so far. So now if you're Boston, you got to match that at some point, right? You got to match that intensity. You got to match it along the boards with that physicality and come out and provide some good chances on Vanacek coming up.
For sure. And, Pastrnak had that really good shot. I felt like the Bruins had that one moment there just after the Devils tied it where it looked like that maybe they were going to get a really good chance to score. Puck came out in front, but none of the Bruins players, although they were standing in the slot, just really good defensive play from New Jersey. But I was going to mention to you before, Kyle, again, the Bruins are still winning a lot of those puck battles, especially in the offensive zone.
And like you saw before where there was the scramble in front of the net, I'm just seeing it here now. It looked like that was going into whoever deflected off of it. I think it got under a guy's skate or it hit the post, one of the two, but it looked like it was going in.
From the Nate Bastian opportunity. Yeah. I think he tried to pass it and it looked like this very slow. I think he saw McLeod streaking.
Oh, no, Swayman got a pad on it.
Wow.
Oh, he got a pad on it. What a save by Swayman.
So now both goaltenders have made a really, really impressive save. I mean, I know this game. If you guys are in the United States, you guys, unless you're in New Jersey, you can watch this game along with us on TNT. If you are a Devils fan, you could watch this game on MSGSN. I think this game might also be on NESN. If you're in Boston, I don't know.
Probably.
We never talked.
We never talked about that. I wanted to bring this up because I need some clarification.
How in the world did he save that?
He just got over.
I'm sorry, but how in the world did he save that?
Real quick, before we go back to the game, I just want some clarification. So, are they trying to move them further north into Virginia, like moving north into Virginia? Are they still going to be called the Washington Capitals? What's going on here?
I don't know. They're literally trying to be what the Commanders are, who don't play in Washington at all.
But why do they need to renovate Capital One Arena? So they talk about renovating Capital One Arena and then them moving north of Virginia. If you guys in the comments can help me, I don't.
It came as a shock. I had not heard anything about them. But if you ask any Capitals fan, they said that this has been a long time coming. I'm like, long time coming.
I don't know what's going on over there.
It's hopefully in the next couple of days we'll get a little bit more clarity as to what the situation is. But back to our game here, as that shot just goes. Actually, I think Vanacek got a piece of it, but nobody was there for the rebound. As now the Devils look to get it out. They cannot intercept it. For a moment. Now the Devils look to come the other way. As now Andre Palat up the right side. Palat backhands it over and just missed Timo Meier. Good stick play there by Boston. And now Brad Marchand by himself will just dump it back into the right corner of New Jersey.
Just wanted to bring up that, and RJ brought up too, that it is 3-3 going overtime for Penguins and Canadiens. And currently 2-2 Ducks and Islanders in the third period. So
we got a lot of good games
a lot of good games tonight, yes.
We got tie games all around here as we get an icing here against the Devils with 11:53 to go in the third. I think if you're New Jersey, it would really be a backbreaker if you were to give up the next goal. Just because of not only how well you've played in this period, but I think overall how well they've played in this game against this Bruins team.
Yeah, this smells like overtime, though. You know me, man. I love 3-on-3 overtime. So
I will be very angry if this game ends in a shootout.
And apparently Anaheim scored to take the lead, maybe. I don't know if it was just the initial tie. I'm not sure, but clarification would be great.
Opportunity. David Pastrnak with a shot, and he shot it completely wide. He was all alone. I don't know how he missed that. But he shot it wide advantage. Pastrnak has had some great chances tonight, has not cashed in. Devils come the other way. Jack Hughes tries to drop it off to Brett, but he missed him on the pass. Good play there as that puck deflects out of play. 11:23. I can't believe David Pastrnak missed that shot. It's all alone.
Was it that bad, or?
Well, you could see it on the shot where the puck ended up. He didn't even hit the net. And he had space.
Gotcha.
You'll probably see it.
Apparently, it doesn't need renovated. It's nice. It's a big stadium. Only downside of where
middle of a street. Who cares?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe I'm being harsh.
And to clarify, it was a go-ahead goal for the Ducks. They are currently up 2-2 on another blown lead by the Islanders.
Were they up 2-0 in that? No.
They were up 1-0 and then 2-1, I believe. I think.
Okay. I don't like when people.
No, maybe you're right. Actually,
offsides here against the Devils with 11:11 to go in this period. Should just mention really quickly. Next 3 Devils games coming up this Saturday. They're in Columbus against the Blue Jackets. Then the following night, they're back home in New Jersey against the Anaheim Ducks. And then next Tuesday, they have a Metro Division battle with the Philadelphia Flyers. That game is also in New Jersey.
Big game, yeah. And to clarify, it was 2-0 Islanders, so another blown lead by the Islanders.
I have a couple of Islander friends, and they're pretty much numb to them blowing leads at this point.
Connor bringing up that fun night in Rogers Arena tomorrow night, as it's Roberto Luongo Appreciation Night. That's going to be a fantastic
a lot of fun.
night. So if he's going, that's great. And it's a great atmosphere there, though. Like I mentioned, was there about a month ago, and it was awesome. Such a great game.
I'm sure it's going to be a big night as now the Devils with some good pressure by their third line. As Mercer loses his stick, Miller goes back for New Jersey here. As Miller chips it up the boards. Puck bounces up in the air. Both teams kind of whacking at it. And now it's taken away by New Jersey. Haula drops off to Mercer. And Holtz, he couldn't get a stick on it. But he wraps it around the boards. Eric Haula wraps it back around the other way. And now Mason with the puck, or he loses it for a moment. He gets knocked down. Devils still with some good pressure here by their third line as Heinen now comes slowly up the other way, and he'll dump it in. A lot of times so far, Kyle, in this period, what I've seen is that the Bruins are just dumping it back into the Devils' zone. They're not really going after it a whole lot right now.
Yeah, it's odd that they're not really going after it. You can see the shots, too, like 26-20. I'm a little surprised by that.
As Swayman covers the puck here, we'll get a face-off. 10:07 to go in this third period. Dawson Mercer again with the only goal in this third period, tied it up at 1. His goal, 7th of the year. He now has 7 goals, 4 assists at 11 points in 27 games for the third-year man, who, by the way, has yet to miss a game in his career. He played all 82 games his rookie year, played all 82 last year, and he has played all 7 of this season. So he has really been a product of just good, I don't want to say good health, but just being able to be consistent and being accountable every single game.
Interesting. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up again from Canafity real quick, how the Ducks are going to reveal their anniversary jerseys and not have them on sale until next year.
Weird.
That's pretty unfortunate. Very weird and unfortunate.
Very weird. Well, because, now Fanatics is going to be in charge. We get an icing here against the Devils. Yay!
I can't wait to get an upside-down C, which,
Upside-down C.
Wait, hold on a second. Well, no, if you do it horizontally, then it would look messed up.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, vertically, I guess, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh my god!
Holy smokes! This game picked up dramatically, didn't it?
It did.
It was a good game through 40. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I think it's just the intensity of the game picked up. All of a sudden, the Devils are coming out like a house on fire right now.
It's crazy. And to finally, I'm just surprised that there hasn't been a response by Boston. It's not like it's been a huge takeover by the Devils right now, but it's not like the Bruins haven't had their chances here in this third period either. It's just I'm surprised how much they've kind of folded a little bit. You expect to come out in this third period and you clearly are in terms of standings and throughout the season, you are the better team. You have to go out and show it here. I'm surprised how much they've kind of fallen back from that.
I think, again, you mentioned it before. I think they're actually still a bit stunned by the response that the Devils have had in this period. Yeah, and sure. I think, and this is kind of where the Bruins are kind of falling into the Devils' style of play, whereas the Devils are using their speed. They're being relentless on the forecheck, and the Bruins right now do not know what to do to fix that. And I think they're surprised that Vanacek has been so strong in this game, that he hasn't given up 2 or 3 bad goals, and the Bruins have just kind of run with it.
He's played well. He's had a good bounce back. Yep, you got to give him credit.
But right now, again, still a lot of time left to go in this one, over 9 minutes to go. But if you're the Devils, you got to find a way to get the next goal, because at that point, you're really going to start putting that pressure on Boston with the way that this has been going.
You got it.
Here's an interesting thing, Kyle. Timo Meier, all 11 points that he's had this year have been when he is paired with Jack Hughes and Tyler Toffoli.
So is Meier with them right now?
He's been up and down the lineup. He's currently with Hischier and Palat. So, I wonder if opportunity 2-on-1. Nico Hischier to Meier, and he whiffed on the shot. Oh my goodness, Timo had a golden chance, and he whiffed on the great pass from Hischier. Oh, he would have had an open net for a goal.
Oh,
as Pasternak with a shot that goes high of Vanacek. Bruins try to keep the pressure going, but now Nico Hischier comes the other way for New Jersey. If they hurry, might be a 3-on-2. Drops it off to John Marino. Marino now in the right corner, throws it in front, nobody home. And now Jake DeBrusk comes the other way. Might be a 3-on-2 for Boston if they hurry. DeBrusk tries to get a step. He feeds it over, and he just missed Pasternak. John Marino tries to get to it, lost it, but Miller picks him up. Miller will dump it over to Meier, and Meier will dump it actually into the Bruins zone. But a huge missed opportunity there for number 28 of New Jersey, as that was almost intercepted.
I swear I'm probably about 5 minutes behind you. Like, this is the farthest behind I've ever been. I'm still in commercial.
Oh, okay. Could you just
really
restart the stream?
I'm like, well, no, like, this is my Sportsnet. Like, you go on. Like, anytime you're on Sportsnet, you're not on cable. If it was on cable, then we'd have no problem.
Well, I'm saying it's like if you exit out of it and then go back in, would it fix itself?
It won't really matter. No, I've tried it a bunch of times.
Fair enough.
It won't matter. Yeah.
Fair enough. Tyler Toffoli comes into the zone here. He backhands it around the boards, taken away by Lindholm. Puck bouncing around here. Devils trying to keep it in. They cannot as Charlie Coyle now comes up the left side. Coyle tries to get around Brad. He can't. Siegenthaler chips it over to Brad. Brad lost it, but Nemec picks it up, chips it over to Siegenthaler, who will get it out of the zone, but he did it a little too much, as that's going to be an icing here against the Devils with 7:48 to go in this one. Brad Marchand, again, he has 887 career points in the National Hockey League, seventh most.
Crazy.
In Bruins history, one behind Bobby Orr for sixth all time.
That's wild. That's crazy.
He's also
Islanders have tied it in the third period.
There you go. See, another good game. You got 3 threes all around. Except this one. Except if you were expecting a lot of goals in our game tonight, you are so far been sadly disappointed.
Another thing too, though, just like as we're looking at, I'm just kind of quickly looking at the stats here. What's really stepping up for me here is the amount of block shots on both ends. 17-10 block shots for the Bruins. That's why we're seeing it being a fairly low scoring game tonight too, as well.
Yeah, a lot of good plays on both sides defensively, just getting bodies in front. As now Mason with the puck here. Lerai drops it off to Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk backhands it around the boards to Van Riemsdyk. He gets to it. Van Riemsdyk just missed Heinen, but Shattenkirk regains it for Boston. Over to Lerai. He takes a shot. It gets blocked. Polters feeds it over to Heinen with a shot. That one is stopped. Rebound try is also fought off by Vanacek. Puck is loose and Vanacek gets over there and makes another save. Oh, Vanacek with 3 saves in a row right there to deny the Bruins the go-ahead goal.
It's a goaltending battle tonight, folks.
Oh, it certainly is, and the intensity of it is picking up with every shift as now the Devils come out of the zone here with the puck as Bastian will dump it in. It's a foot race to the Bruins side. McLeod gets to it. Michael McLeod fighting off 2 Bruins players, hits the side of the net. Puck is still bouncing. Bastian gets to it, tries to feed it in front. Lazar gets to it for New Jersey. He stops, still fighting along here, chips it to McLeod. McLeod now gets it, slowly tries to get it to Marino. McLeod regains it, tries to throw it in front. McLeod gets knocked down, no penalty. Kevin Ball now wraps it around the boards to Bastian. Bastian fighting along here as Ian Mitchell knocks him down. McLeod gets knocked down again. The Devils' fourth line just relentless right now, but the Bruins finally get it out of the zone with 5:53 and ticking to go in this one.
What a game. What a third period we have here.
This is a crazy game.
It's good, but again, it goes back to it's a very important game specifically more for the Devils.
For the Devils than really Boston, but yeah.
I mean, still for the Boston, you want to try to.
Look, it's not like this is the last game of the season. The Bruins have nothing to play for.
No. This is still good. This is still like important for both teams. Like, no joke.
Wow, Canadiens, Penguins going to shot. Timo Meier comes in with a shot, and that one is fought off by the chest of Swayman. Timo Meier with a great chance there. Tried to go high, but Swayman stopped him. Palat comes right back in for New Jersey. Palat tries to chip it over. He gets it back. Palat feeds it over to Brock with a shot that wouldn't stop. Rebound try just goes wide. Shimon Nemec loses it. Bruins trying to get to it maybe on a foot race, but Palat was able to back him up. Bruins, Lindholm comes into the zone. Lindholm stops. Wraps it around the boards. Luke Hughes gets to it for New Jersey, fighting along with Brad Marchand. Jack Hughes picks it up, and he'll circle back, and he will slow this up a bit. So he'll chip it over to Luke with 4:38 to go in this one. Luke Hughes now being hounded by 2 players, and that's taken away by the Bruins. As now they'll come back in here as they'll whistle it down for maybe an offsides, but nonetheless,
offside. Wow,
we got 4:29 to go in this one. Still 1-1 in our game between the Devils and the Bruins as we get a commercial break.
OT, OT, OT.
Oh God, what a game,
You know
Kyle!
me, man.
This has been a hell of a game from both teams.
Wow, I'm surprised. I don't know who it was. 17. Is that who's 17 on the
Nemec.
Devils?
Nemec.
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 It looked like he almost had a holding call go against him there. Like
I
I
think
don't know who
I
it
was
was, but
expecting it too because he was kind of holding. I don't know who he was
I
holding,
thought
but I
I
think
didn't
the
see it
refs.
either. But
I
yeah,
think the refs don't want to slow down the pace of this game. I think
no,
they
I
feel if
agree.
they don't want it to be about them.
Yeah. But again, like you want to make the right call. I don't know. I'd have to see that again to see whether or not he was really holding the stick or if it just got caught up in whatever. But yeah, no, I agree. The refs are just kind of just saying, let him play unless we see something that's clearly a penalty, right? And that's how this should be, right? Let the
Right.
guys play, let them figure it out, but like call the necessary penalties that need to be called, right? And obviously, like being a ref's probably the toughest part, right?
Right. Exactly.
For
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like you obviously want to try and make the right call, but I do like the fact that there's been what 2 or 3 penalties. Like if there's probably 2 or 3
There has been
penalties in a
3
game,
penalties in this game.
3. If there's 2 or 3 penalties in a game, like that's pretty abnormal. You know what I mean? Or excuse me, that is
Right.
pretty normal in terms of like and to Andrew's point, actually, you're right. Like it does feel like that kind of playoff game with the intensity a little bit, the way this third period has gone. So you're right. It has felt like that as well, too.
This would be a fun playoff series between these two
It would.
teams. I
I
think
completely agree.
like if these two teams full strength, like and both teams had good goaltending, I think I think it would be a really good series personally. Like
I mean,
I'd
one
be
team has good
excited about it.
goaltending.
I'd be pumped to play the Bruins.
One team has good goaltending.
One team has good goaltending.
Yeah, but Vanchek's player, you can't
Yeah,
knock.
no, I don't want to be rude to Vanacek here, but like it's like over the course of the last many months, I haven't had the world's greatest faith here, but back into the action here, 4:15 to go in this one. It basically at this point, it's got to be honest. Next goal is going to win this game. I don't think there's any other way to look at it.
I would agree with that.
Unless the floodgates open. Pasternak with it now. He drops it off to Shattenkirk, who takes a shot, and that one deflects up and out of play with 3:57 to go in this one.
Kind of what we've been saying most of the night, too, is that the Devils need this win more than the Bruins just to get back up there in that playoff conversation
Right.
a little bit. And you're right. Like, even if the Bruins lose in overtime, they'll still take a point and walk away from this. But still, like, they probably might walk away from saying if they don't win that, man, we had the opportunities to try to put this away.
Right. And I think it should also mention, like, I don't want to knock on Columbus and Anaheim, but, like, if you're able to win tonight, you set yourself up to get then 2 what could be considered maybe easier wins.
I don't know. Nah, you can't. Like, I can't
But
say
like,
that.
I don't want to. Yeah, I like more
can't.
favorable matchups.
Yes, more favorable.
So,
favorites.
like, it would just give that. And I think really the Devils, what they're looking for in many ways right now is just confidence from people. And I think winning games like this is what is what builds that confidence.
Well, DraftKings will put you guys as favorites for the next 2 games, and if you do want to bet on the next 2 games, make sure to use code THPN to get. Just use the code THPN.
That was really good. No, that was really good. No, that one was really good.
I don't really know where I was
I
going.
love that. No, I thought that was actually really good, personally.
Well, it's stupid because I'm like, wait a minute. I think you can just use it and then you get. No, you can just use the code and then you get. I think it's a discount, right? I can't.
You do. Yep.
Thank you.
As now
you get a discount.
Luke Hughes makes a long feed over to Jesper Bratt. Puck goes into the Bruins zone here as now Lindholm intercepts it for Boston. Now it's taken away by Jack Hughes. Hughes has it now, still with it. Jack Hughes leads it. Drive by Miller. That one deflects wide. Toffoli now with it. Gets it top of the point. Drive by Luke Hughes. That one is stopped. And then we have a little pushing and shoving as Swayman and Bratt get together for a little pleasantries with 2:57 to go in this one.
Jared checking back in. The game is super close.
Jared, are you as stressed as I am right now? Because I'm stressed. He probably is.
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew what stress felt like.
What stress felt. Kyle had his moment last week when the Flames beat
still have. Actually, thank you for reminding me.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you for reminding me. Because I told them, I said, like, you guys you can't lose this game. And if you do, I'm going to make you pay for it.
Jesper Bratt, 4 shots on the night. Face-off one here by the Bruins in their own zone, and they'll look to get it out. Now Lindholm gets over to DeBrusk, and he'll chip it out of the zone. Is this going to be enough for an icing? It is. So an icing here against the Bruins with 2:49 to go in this third period. Again, 1-1. Morgan Geekie with a goal late in the first period made it 1-0 Boston. And then less than 3 minutes into this third period, Dawson Mercer whacked the puck out of midair to tie the game up at 1. And so both teams' third lines have been the goal scorers tonight. So if you think about all the talent offensively both teams have, it's their third lines so far that have been the difference makers.
Sorry, I'm busy just trying
He's
to get
busy memeing.
I'm memeing a little bit, yeah.
He's memeing a little bit as now Eric Hall gets to, he overskated the puck, as now gets it over. Pastrnak just had his reach, and he takes a shot. It gets deflected, and then Vanacek is able to control it, and then we have a little pushing it. Oh, boy, people are going for a man. Morgan Geekie is going after. He loses his helmet. Oh, geez. A lot of pushing and shoving and helmets flying off right now.
I'm glad that we're getting people to keep on the edge of their seats here.
I'm glad, Kafidi.
That's what it should be.
That's our job. That is our job. That's what we're here for. Yeah. All right, so we got another Bruins fan in the chat
saying, "Let's go Bruins!" Yeah,
all right. Sure. I'm really stressed out. No, I understand.
Yep, for sure. Currently, right now, the probability for face-offs are 57%. Face-off probability is 57% Bruins and 43% for the Devils.
Where did Charlie McAvoy go to college? And the reason I'll explain in a minute why I'm asking that question. Because Jake DeBrusk, you dingus.
Yes, you.
Did he go to college? No,
God damn it, Neil.
Did he go to college?
Penguins and Habs are in round 8 of a shootout right now. What is going on tonight?
Did he go to college?
Round 8. Oh, sorry. Are you not seeing this?
Here comes Nico Hischier into the zone here for the Devils. Devils trying to keep it in. They cannot at the moment.
Yup. That's way the real deal. Did you hear what I said, though? They're in round 8 of a shootout.
No, I didn't. I was looking up somewhat. Well, they're in the 8th round of the shootout. Oh, what a hit by Jonas Siegenthaler. I don't know who he hit specifically, but a good hit nonetheless. Puck goes into the left corner of the Boston zone.
Round 9 they're in now.
Hilarious. 1 minute 50 to go in this one here. Marchand, he'll dump it into the right side. Tries to keep it in. That shot, a high riser, goes wide of Vanacek. 100 seconds to go. Lindholm over to the right side to Shattenkirk. Now to Pastrnak, takes a shot. Gets blocked. Keeps it. Lindholm keeps it in. Over to Shattenkirk. Now tries to get over to Pastrnak. It's wrapped around the boards. Kevin Ball gets to it. Devils trying to get to it first. They do. As Lazar will chip it out of the zone for a moment. Both teams kind of whacking at it. Intercepted by McLeod. And now McLeod will get to it. And he will actually just carry it in with 1:15 to go in the period. Shattenkirk now drops over to Lindholm. Lindholm, round 10.
Holy crap, round 10.
Lindholm now, slowly waiting as we have 1 minute to go in this one between the Devils and Bruins, still tied at 1. Nemec gets to it, and we get a whistle here for an icing against the Bruins with 58.4 to go in this one.
Overtime.
By the way, the reason I found out that Jake DeBrusk went to Providence is that he just got into a fight with John Marino, who went to Harvard.
Well, there you go. That makes sense. They're in round 11. Now.
Well, the question is, will this game we're covering, will this end before that shootout comes to an end? That's where we're at.
Well, it could end in regulation, maybe.
It's true. Face off to the right of Jeremy Swayman in the Bruins zone. It's won by the Bruins here. There's now Trent Frederick. Bounces it off the boards and out. Devils will go back to get it with 50 seconds to go in this one. Gives it over to Jesper Bratt. They come back in. Bratt gives it Hughes with a shot, and he just shot it wide. Jack Hughes with a shot in the slot, and he almost got it past Swayman. As now Jack Hughes right back into the zone here with 35 seconds to go in the third period. Bruins trying to get back the other way. Lindholm loses the puck, intercepted by Siegenthaler, just out of the reach of Jack Hughes. 25 seconds to go in the period as Lindholm will slow it up. He gives it over to David Pastrnak, round 12. As this back game Lindholm slows it up, gives it over to Jake DeBrusk. Puck goes into the Devils zone. 10 seconds to go in this one. Puck now behind the boards. Andre Palat gets to it, gets it off the boards and out. 4 seconds left to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have overtime for this one between the Devils and Bruins.
And we're still going on in the Penguins and Canadiens game right now. Still in round 12. Has not been solved yet.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Kyle, we got ourselves some even more excitement going into at least these next 5 minutes of play here in this one to decide the winner of this, what has been a phenomenal game between these two teams.
And it's over. Penguins winning a shootout.
Penguins winning a shootout. Great.
Wow. As everybody's checking in, though, at a good time, though, because we are going to overtime here, 1-1 between the Bruins and the Devils. Jared now saying that the Bruins have always have trouble keeping a lead. I mean, come on, it's 1-0. I don't know if it's much of a lead. Like, if it's a 1-goal lead, like, you got to get, like, for the whole game, I mean, at some point, something had to break through, right? So as Andrew now predicting an OT, I don't think anybody's really gotten close in terms of who's going to win tonight. I guess Goes is still kind of close, and Jared too. He has 3-2 Devils.
Goes and Jared are going to end up being the closest ones to getting it right.
Correct. Whoever ends up winning though tonight, because he is the Bruins there on that end. So who's your before we start overtime? I'll go first. I'll say goal scorer for the Bruins. And the Devils, Bruins, I think Pasternak has to break through at some point. I think he's been right there knocking at the door. So not because of favoritism here, but I'll go Pasternak for the Bruins. And I think for the Devils, I'll go Hischier. Why not?
All right. So for the Bruins, I'm actually going to go with Brad Marchand to get the GWG. I think that's what's going to happen. In terms of who's going to score for the Devils in overtime, I'm going to go with Jesper Bratt to get the winner in overtime.
Oh, that's a good pick. Good pick. He's been flying.
You also mentioned Bruins 2-3 in overtime this year. The Devils are 2-0. So both teams have found ways to win in overtime. And we'll see. I don't know how many times. I know the Devils have been in the shootout once this year. I don't know how many times the Bruins have been in the shootout.
Well, they have like 5 overtime losses. So I think they have 5 overtime losses, something like that.
Well, if they have 5, then they're probably 0-2 in the. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything to me.
3 overtime losses. So I don't think it's mean they've been in a lot of overtime / shootouts.
So it looks like the Devils have Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, and Michael McLeod on to start. Can't really tell. Looks like it's Lindholm, Pasternak. I think that's Pasternak. Yeah. I mean, the faceoff is won by the Bruins. So they will start it up here as our overtime is underway. As now the Bruins immediately, Brad Marchand drops it over to, and that one's intercepted by the Devils as Luke Hughes now will just go back waiting for help. He gets to Michael McLeod and oh my, they nearly ran into each other. Drops it over to Michael McLeod, backhands it over to Jack Hughes, tries to get around. They are really playing dangerous right now, but Luke Hughes now comes the other way. Luke Hughes still with it, chips it over to Jack Hughes with a shot. That one is stopped and the rebound try goes wide. Luke Hughes tries to get to it first for New Jersey. Pasternak gets to it. Trying to get a 2-on-1. Pasternak trying to fight off Jack Hughes. Pasternak loses the puck battle to Jack, and Bratt will slow it up for New Jersey. Jesper Bratt coming up the side. Now he's at the center of the ice. Devils coming in with speed. Bratt drops off to Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes feeds to Bratt, and that shot is stopped by Swayman. Wants to come the other way. Can they hurry? Grzelcyk lost the puck. Bounces up, but Grzelcyk regains it. 3:55 to go in overtime.
What chances?
That was a great chance. As now Grzelcyk slowly making his way up. He drops it over, lost it. Nico Hischier with it now, still with it. Looking, long feed. Almost a breakaway chance for Mercer, but he'll get to the puck first. Mercer still with it. Dawson Mercer chips it over to now Nico Hischier. Nico Hischier with it. Tries to get around a defender. Still with it now. Hischier around the net. Still with it now, fighting off Bruin defenders. And Nico Hischier keeps it in the zone, still with it, comes in with a backhand try, stopped, and the rebound try goes wide. Devils look to try to get back if they can hurry to get to the puck. Nemec gets to it with 3:11 to go in this overtime. Mercer now to Jack Hughes with a step and a shot, and that fluttering shot is stopped by Swayman. Bruins come the other way. Mason now feeds over to Poitras. Poitras stops, waits, gives it to Mason with a shot, and that one is blocked by Nemec. Oh, Poitras keeps
goodness.
Mason now with it, loses it, still fighting along. Timo Meier intercepts. Devils come the other way, might be a 3-on-1. Jack Hughes coming in, waits, feeds to the Meier, shot, and that one goes wide. Nemitz still with it, over now. Meier gets it over now, still with it. Jack Hughes with a drive, and that one is stopped, and it's covered and held by Swayman. Oh, this doesn't end. Holy smokes, what an overtime. Wow. Is this the game of the year?
Still 3 minutes to go. Wow.
What the? I mean, holy moly.
Both goalies have been phenomenal tonight.
What a block, by the way, by Shimon Nemitz on that opportunity. That would have been a golden chance for the Bruins there. And that was a face-off one here by the Devils in the O-zone. Luke Hughes having some trouble, tries to chip it over to McLeod, but he missed it. Puck goes all the way back. Vanacek will play it for New Jersey as Brett will go around Vanacek. And Brett now comes up slowly, gets around one defender. Mate tries to get a step on. Lindholm feeds over to Jack Hughes with a shot, and he scores! Jack Hughes in overtime! And the Devils have come back to beat the Bruins in overtime! They win it 2-1 in New Jersey!
Wow. Oh my goodness. That's
unbelievable! What a finish! And Jack Hughes gets the win, and the Devils, with one of their biggest wins of the year, a hard-fought 2-1 win against the Bruins.
And it really says a lot, too, in that overtime. As soon as the Devils won that faceoff, they controlled that whole overtime, and it really says a lot. And, I mean, they really did earn this one going into that third period. They stayed in it. They didn't take themselves out of this game, and especially just kind of coming into that third period, just throwing everything they had at Boston, and ultimately they deserved this one tonight.
It was a beautiful shot from Jack Hughes, a great feed from Jesper Bratt, stopping on a dime, getting Lindholm skating well out of the way, and Jack Hughes going top shelf over the glove side of Jeremy Swayman, and the Devils get a hard-fought, well-deserved 2-1 win and beating the Bruins. I mean, again, what a win, especially coming off that road trip. Great win for the Devils.
What a game. Hey, what a game.
Oh, dude, phenomenal game. The funny thing, though, is that Jack Hughes didn't react the way I thought he would have. Like, he kind of looked like maybe he thought it was offsides or some crap like that. I didn't know. But, I mean, what a game.
It went under armpit. It went
under his armpit. Okay, I was trying to figure out. Vitek Vanacek is going to be one of the stars of the game. Vitek Vanacek, what a performance from him tonight, stopping 24 of 25 Bruins shots tonight. Phenomenal job by him. Great game, probably his best game of the year, and that's back-to-back wins for Vitek, which is important for him. He gave up 2 against Calgary, and he only gave up 1 against the Bruins. So, starting to play a little bit better, which is good.
Count Calgary.
I know.
Don't count it.
I take it in, but a massive win for the Devils that puts them into a 4-way tie for the second wild card spot right now, and just a great win for the Devils. What a game, dude! That was probably one of our most fun games that we've done in a long time.
Yeah, that was probably the best game we've had this year. That was really good. A lot of good back and forth. And it felt like a playoff game tonight. Let's be honest. I think Andrew said it earlier. It felt like a playoff game, and I think I said going into today, I'm like, something about this game is just gonna be good tonight. And I'm glad we did it, and we got our wish. So it was a good game.
We got our wish indeed, and obviously I come out on the good side because the Devils found a way to get a big win. 6th career overtime goal for Jack Hughes. Big one tonight. His 11th of the year now on the season, and that was a well-earned win for the
Isles.
Isles got the win, so it's whatever. That doesn't matter. But a big win for the Devils. GG's to you as well, Jared. It was a hell of a game. Bruins still get a point out of it, so that gets them now to 40 points on the year.
Who had Jack Hughes in overtime, by the way. So
he did have Jack Hughes, so good for you, Jared. Good for you, man. But I mean, that's a win for every Metro team tonight. Metro was successful tonight for sure. But Kyle, parting thoughts after what was one hell of a game that we got to cover tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit slow to start. I think they were just trying to feel each other out. But overall, I mean, really, like that third period overtime, I think really displayed that whole game, as your grin kind of says it all here. But no, overall, it was a great game. I'm glad we did it. And you want these type of games ultimately, right? For a fan, like you want these games. You want to be on the edge of your seat, just hoping for a good finish and a good outcome. And we got a good one tonight.
We got a good outcome indeed. And also, I just want to shout out, we had consistently like 25 to 30 people watching with us tonight, which was great. Thank you all so much. If you guys are new, make sure to leave a like on the stream if you like what you saw, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live here for games on THP. And Kyle will be back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah.
8 o'clock for Calgary against Minnesota. So make sure we're going to be doing a lot more of these throughout the year. We're also going to be doing World Juniors and so much more. So make sure you guys get those notifications up so you guys are here to enjoy all this. We got so much great content coming for you. But
cool.
On that note, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. What a game. What a finish. It was phenomenal. Make sure to follow the Hockey Podcast Network on Instagram and Twitter, both at HockeyPodNet. Go check out all the podcasts that we have covering every team in the NHL, including the Devil's State of Mind podcast, which covers the aforementioned New Jersey Devils, to which I am the host of. We post weekly episodes. We'll be talking about this one for sure. A lot of excitement there. You can follow us on Twitter at Devil's State, Instagram at Devil's State of Mind, and like us on Facebook as well. But again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you in the next live watch along. Once again, the final score from New Jersey. The Devils, with a come-from-behind win, beat the Boston Bruins 2-1 in overtime, thanks to an overtime game winner from Jack Hughes. Everyone continue to be the awesome people that you are, and as we always say at the end of every live watch along, make sure to rock on.